Hello everyone, welcome to Fates and Fables. I'm Kyle Brodigan, your humble DM, and we embark on an adventure unlike any other you've ever seen before. We're playing a 5e Dungeons & Dragons game, but with a little twist. The setting I have our player adventures going on is in a steampunk setting, so although we may see some familiar monsters of lore, you also see some fun, little tidbits along the way, or in the air, or streaking across the ground on a sheet of light. Please join us as we follow Ilona, Styx, Jill, Frey, Tixon, Volt, and Persephone, a newly formed group, part of the Heroes Guild known as the GearHearts, as they travel across the land to help those who can't help themselves, fight the good fight, good versus evil, and hopefully win the day. Please, I invite you to sit back, relax, enjoy the show as we tune in for another episode of Fates and Fables. GearHearts Rising.
Just press record? Okay. Why not? Okay. So, hey, what's up, everyone? Jesus.
You need a mulligan there, Kyle? You okay?
Nope, we're going. We're already way too late, and it's my fault. Okay, what's up, everyone? My name's Kyle Brodigan. This is Fates and Fables, guys! Oh, wonderful! After some technical difficulties, I finally have this thing working, I think. Who knows? We'll see. But let's just jump right into the game here. We're going to do intros, we're going to do announcements, and we got to get to a city that some people may or may not have heard about, and everyone's excited to go, so let's do that. Alright, so starting off to my left, we're going to ride around the horn. Nick, you're up first. Tell us who you are, tell us a little about your character, and let's move.
Alright, I'm Nick Rivera. I play from New York, and I play Voltal, the new little lightning bugger.
Great! Alright, Cody, you're up next. Go, Cody, go!
Hey there, I'm Cody Odell. I live in Michigan, and I am playing Freylos, the Aasimar Zealot Barbarian. And since we're talking about cities some of us may have heard of, I'm really looking forward to going to Frimbiscali. That's definitely where we're headed.
No, not yet.
Unless you just make a U-turn, which, hey, that's up to you guys. So I just go where you tell us to go. So, thank you, Cody. And next up is Kayla. Go, Kayla, go!
I'm Kayla. I'm playing from Pittsburgh. And I play Ilona. She's the half-elf artificer.
Wow, yeah.
And she's got a mechanical construct, and his name is Misfit, and he's the greatest, and that's it.
So how are you at taking tests? Are you okay there? Do good with tests?
It's like when you take a test, you forget your own name just to start the test. Like, oh,
I just forgot what race I was.
All right, Crab, you're up next with the beautiful kitty cat headsets.
I'm Crab. I play Jill. I hit stuff as a fighter.
Boom.
I'm
Awesome. Heather, go. Cool hat.
Heather playing Persephone Sharonford Vanderoth Kearney de Renard III, aka Percy, the human gunslinger. And we're heading to my hometown tonight, Cody.
From Biscali? I thought you were from Enric.
Amazing.
He's in a mood tonight, you guys.
Thank you, Heather. Up next is Sam. Go, Sam, go.
Hi, I'm Sam. I play Tixon. He does rogue things and magic things. It's great fun. I'm from Idaho. I don't know. I'm a potato.
Perfect.
Matches the character, actually.
And
Yeah.
last but certainly not least, rolling in from all the way across the pond. Kev, go ahead. Go, Kev, go.
Hey, I'm Kevin. Like I said, I'm from England. I am playing Styx, the friendly neighborhood goblin who's always nice to people.
Absolutely.
Except when he lights them on fire.
No, that's when he's his nicest.
Yeah.
Or blackmails him.
Yep.
That is
He's a very
nice
warm-hearted
side.
person.
All right, cool. All right, so everyone, again, thanks for joining in. We're gonna have at the break some voiceover introduction with the characters, a little bit more about their backgrounds and things. But we're going to get into the game here as soon as we can. We got some announcements we got to do real quick, and we'll have Heather go first. Heather.
Okay, so I also make dice bags. These beautiful scale mail dice bags. You can find me on Facebook at Val Duskwood Designs. And I have pretty good deals. You just custom make them, pick your colors and size, and I will make it and ship it out to you.
Beautiful, perfect. If I'm not mistaken, you already have like some orders already?
I've had a few orders. I am also sponsoring another stream.
Nice. Very cool. Very cool. And if you saw last time I did like the thing and I had the thing pop up next with the Val Duskwood thing, I might do that again. I don't know.
Yeah, do it again.
Work.
It's gonna be right here.
Or
Here.
there, and then it'll pop up down there. That'll be cool. I'll just have a point where everyone was just pointing. That'll be great.
It'll just pop up everywhere.
Pretty sure that means it has to cover my face for a while.
You mean like this? I'm gonna do it! It's gonna be great. Okay, all right. Thank you, Heather. Kayla, you're up next. Go tell us about stuff.
Oh, well, there's so much stuff to talk about, but what I want to talk about is how cool our character art is. It is amazing and beautiful and wonderful and absolutely glorious in every way, and it was done by the wonderful Gayla Janita. I hope I'm saying that right. And you can check out her stuff at Gayla Janita on Twitter. You can also check out her website where she lists more about like her commissions and shows off her different things that she can do. And she's a really super talented artist and just a very sweet person. So much fun to work with. And that's it. And click on the link to her thing.
Perfect. Excellent. Thank you, Kayla. No, I mean, the art is awesome, and she has, like, pretty great prices, and she has, like, really attention to detail, and, like, ran away with this whole steampunk thing we have going here, so, yeah, she's awesome.
She also responds very fast.
Yes, she does.
Yeah, like, we had these, like, 2-3 weeks total, maybe, for all of the characters? Like, that's pretty great. Nice, but,
yep.
And if you want to check out all of our wonderful character art, like, in finer detail so you can see all the cool little stuff you did, you can follow us on Twitter.
There.
At @Fates_in_fables.
I love this so
And
much.
if you follow us on Twitter, we will give you updates on when we start our shows up, and if we decide to do anything spontaneous and fun and anything crazy that we happen to think of, we will do that. And also find us on Facebook as well.
Under a totally different name. Definitely not.
Under still Fates and Fables.
Yes, Fates and Fables.
And Fables.
Yes.
All the fables.
So ampersand, right?
Fates.
No, not an ampersand.
Damn.
Awesome.
You know what? I will put a link to the Facebook page and the Twitter.
Yeah.
Or a link
right here. Yeah, who knows? Maybe. Jeez. Love it. All right. How did we do on announcements for the second? That was pretty good.
I'm pretty sure we've gone mad with power, actually.
Wonderful.
So,
all right, so
I'm pretty sure they can't see us with all the labels all over the place.
Should I just leave them up for the whole stream too?
No, you just
leave them there.
Just like spontaneously flash them.
Okay, we'll see. Like a little Easter egg while we're playing.
maybe
I'm just gonna
don't trigger
clear
our
my
watchers' epilepsy.
Clearing it. We're good.
Oh, like this? Did I clear it? Oh, we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. All right, so let's just jump right in, GearHearts. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yes.
All right, cool.
Oh yeah, that stuff.
So quick recap from last time. Our adventurers, the GearHearts, have been stranded out in the deserts here, going from the city of Amok to Imbric on their escort service, if you will. Not that kind, the adventuring guild kind. Taking one of our player characters' sisters, Calypso, back home to safety. There's been some sort of kidnappings going on, and the adventuring group has found out that the people that are being kidnapped, they're actually looking for someone very specific, i.e. Calypso, Persephone's sister. So the idea is, let's get her back home, get her back to safety. Along the way, it was supposed to be kind of a fun trip, really. You guys were going on a cruise and then a light rail train thing. It was supposed to be just easy, smooth sailing. But, of course, with this group, nothing is easy sailing, as you were bombarded by dragon mechs and warforged, and then mech stangs and mech assault weapons and all kinds of fun stuff, leading to the deaths of lots of innocent people. But let's not dwell on that. Let's look forward to the future. So, as you guys were waiting, you finally, the tow truck came to pick up all of this damage and destruction, pick up this light trail, get it back to Imbric. And on this tow truck was another player character's friend from before. One Lincoln Fredrickson came and found Ilona, and with a warm embrace, they started to catch up very quickly. More of a one-sided conversation of catching up. But As we were kind of getting everything squared away, the Warforged were getting some of the pieces on the tow truck Caterpillar. You notice not only did one of your party members sort of vanish out into the desert, another one seemed to come out of seemingly nowhere, mostly lost, with the map backwards and upside down and inside out and in a different language, I think. It was a mess. Your new friend, Voltal, after being introduced to the whole group, decided to embark on this journey with you back to Imbric to kind of finish this mission off. There's a lot of things going on with some of our characters' backstories, as well as an overall story arc going on. So lots of things. We've been waiting so long to get towards Imbric. We finally embarked on the journey, and that's where we left off. All right, so you guys ready?
Absolutely.
So, after about a day and a half travel from the desert spot to get to the outskirts of Imbric, you approach the city. And the first thing you notice as you're kind of like going through this forest area. You're following the same rail that the train was on, but the tow truck is now on this rail and kind of making it a little bit easier to kind of go back and follow. And because we're gonna deliver the train back to the station where you can be repaired, if you will. So as you kind of come out of this forest area, you can see off in the distance the outskirts of the city of Imbric. One of the first things you notice is as the forest opens up into this open field, very, very cool chill kind of hits your skin. It doesn't necessarily take your breath away, but just noticeable difference in temperature. And when you look off into the distance, you can see the outline of the cityscape, these large, billowing smokestacks of sorts, kind of all off on different sections of the city that all kind of conglomerate up into one large smokestack of black into the air. Now, as you guys are pushing forward on this caterpillar, which moves very slow, by the way, kind of like as a caterpillar would, the front engine kind of like pulls itself forward, and then all the rest. There's the whole thing. That's why it takes a little bit longer. Now that you have a whole other vehicle on top of this thing, I need everyone to make a perception check.
I love perception check.
Just jumping right into it.
I roll my big old die. It's really big.
Big for this one.
That was almost a nat 20, damn it.
I got a 19 total.
16.
Do I get
I also got a
advantage because
19
it's my
total.
home?
Persephone, yeah, sure, yeah, I like that. That makes sense.
That's a little bit better.
13.
Okay, it didn't sound like anyone really
I obviously
rolled below,
don't want to look too close.
Ooh. What were you saying, Kyle?
Wow. Never mind. I was about to say, it doesn't seem like anyone rolled below a 10.
That timing was perfect.
Elona's
Gotta
still
keep things
dealing with the
consistent.
whole Lincoln thing.
Yeah, I'm still dealing, okay?
Oh, the biology book, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Still
Still trying to
reading.
figure out that damn test.
You were told you don't need to do the
Like
test.
correcting some of the ones that were wrong, but like, no, that's not what it says in the chapter right here. It's all underlined.
Crying. No.
Learning is fun.
I'm behind her, taking down the right answers for the test later on.
Perfect. So basically, everyone but Ilona, as you're like kind of excited to finally get to this city, seemingly coming out of this black smoke, you see a very large black figure in the air coming out of the smoke. Probably about a good, just from the distance you are from where you are now, even just to get to the city. The city's still like, a mile and a half off. That's how big this city is, that you can see it from that far away. But just off in you can just start to see this large black looming figure coming out of the smoke towards you guys. And probably about like a mile and a half off, this large looming figure actually splits off, and you see 4 other smaller figures, not as big as the other one, but still pretty large, off to the side, kind of split off. Although it seemed as one, now is 4 up in the air.
It's a fucking gargoyles, isn't it?
What do you guys want to do?
I'm gonna point Alona's head up so she stops looking at the book.
These are humanoid shapes?
Even with the pretty high rolls there, they're still kind of far off. Just seeing them.
Just shapes.
Yeah. Pretty
Do I know
large.
what they are?
The fact that I'll tell you that just because of how far away it is, and you can see how big it is. Again, just for our own sake of clarity, like, airplanes are super high in the air. It's not super high in the air, but it is in the air coming at you seemingly very fast. I'll give you that.
Is it like smooth, or is it like kind of like flapping?
Are they aggressive? Is there a sign in front that says "We're here to kill you"?
I just want to see Kayla fly again because that was great. Like this or like this.
Like flapping.
I mean, with your 5, just big,
Yes.
large black thing.
I'm sorry, it is not a 5. It is a 6.
Oh, all right. Well, with
that changes everything.
I know.
Would I know what they are?
Go ahead and roll. Just roll a history check. I mean, this is the history of this area. Sure, we'll go with that.
17.
Okay. You would know this as you're kind of looking at it. As you're kind of looking, you guys are kind of coming in from over this direction. If you guys can see the map.
Where you're not seeing a ping.
Up here. You guys are kind of way back up here yet. Okay? And you see this figure coming from this direction here. Persephone, you would know that, especially on the north side of the city, since the main part of Inbrick is the floating island in the water, right? And off to the side here, above the city on the mainland, still a lot of residential homes or some other cool things, which we'll get to eventually here. But one of the things that you know from the north is that there's large scouting parties that do keep their eye on the outskirts of the forest line. So again, a big thing just kind of coming out of the woods. You would know these as the Pterodon scouts that come. So, what do you guys want to do? Getting closer. Probably about a mile.
Jill, I think those are gargoyles. Let's.
No, what are you doing?
No.
I chuck a javelin at him.
Okay, go ahead and roll an attack with, just because. That's what you
He leans out of the train.
Do I even have javelins? Let me check. Oh, I have 4 more. Okay. That's a 1.
Okay. So as you guys are slowly creeping along these figures, Jill just instinctively, you hear Freylos say, "Gargoyles!" And, like, "Ah!" And you just instinctively throw this javelin and it's from the outside looking in, there's this large looming caterpillar tow truck and there's this little toothpick that goes.
How far from the caterpillar does it land?
How far outside the caterpillar does it land?
Yeah.
Not very far. Just.
Can I grab it with my mage hand and just hand it back?
How far is Mage Hand? 30 feet?
I think it's 30 feet.
Yeah, sure. Because you guys are kind of up. It's still a big thing, but still 30 feet's kind of high up. But yeah, you can probably still grab it. Slowly starts to float back up.
Just hand it back to him.
I accept it, not knowing who did it.
Jill, you missed.
Oh, I did. I chucked it.
No. Jill.
Goes a little farther this time. From the outside, it looks hilarious. It's this little stick. What else you guys want to do?
Those are patrols.
Of gargoyles?
No. The dinosaurs.
Half mile out.
Wait, what?
What?
One of the main things about Inbrick is we have dinosaurs. There's ranches outside the city that breed and tame them.
Where are those ranches?
Wait, does that
All
mean
over around.
we could
And
get
I point to Icarus.
Is there any spots on the train to hit stop at next destination?
You can go exploring after. We gotta get back. There's some inside the city as well. You'll have plenty to look at.
You see, Lincoln actually comes up now. He's like, "Yeah, it's has no one ever been here before? Because it's kind of amazing if you haven't."
I'm hearing you say there's dinosaurs, but I still don't know what that is.
I point
This
to
is what
Icarus.
Faith understands.
This is a dinosaur. It is
Do
just
they
a
all
small
get
one.
as big as those ones up there?
Some
Actually,
do.
It was just gonna get a lot bigger.
They're actually
No,
pretty,
no.
yeah, they're pretty sweet. You guys want to, and you guys are kind of in the tow truck right now, but you can actually go up on top. There is like a, think of it almost like an above ground submarine, I guess, if you will, because it has like a smooth outer shell to it, but there is kind of like a whole top deck that you could go up and stand on if you wanted to.
Yes.
Lincoln grabs Alona's hands and start running upstairs.
Just gonna run up there. He's like, wait, can we get dinosaurs as pets?
I'm
You
gonna
can.
try to beat Lincoln upstairs.
He looks highly tempted.
Jill, I don't buy that these aren't gargoyles. Let's get up there and get a better look.
Don't. First of all, it's stupid to chuck a javelin when
Already
you're not
upstairs.
within range.
I am already walking up. I
Acrobatics
take
check.
her complaint, but I totally noticed.
Sophie's gonna follow behind everybody, just like, patience.
Oh, fuck.
Almost over.
You haven't even
It's
gotten
like
to
a
the
beaten
city
up.
yet, by the way, and you're already
Yeah.
rubbing your head.
Yeah.
Tixon's just gonna sit on Percy's shoulders. Just like,
It's not great. It's a 13.
So as he kind of pulls your hand, like, "Come on, Aluna, this is gonna be awesome!" Like, and starts to pull you. You're like trying to like get the edge and kind of like start running. He goes, "Oh, okay then," and like just like kind of like does like it's kind of one of those things where it's like competitions has taken over instead of whatever, and like kind of like shoves you out of the way and like
Alona's
I'd like
racing.
to try to steady her as I'm coming up behind them.
I am
Just start
racing.
jumping up people's heads to see if I can handle them.
Alona's racing him.
yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna cast haste on her.
All right.
Lincoln just hears us like, that's because she's never gone this fast before.
Speed. You guys see Bolt rub his hands really fast, and then touch her clothing, and her clothing like spark up, and she just goes.
So as Lincoln like kind of shoves you out of the way, starts running up the stairs, kind of like does those things like you see like like the stairs in like a building, how it's like up and turn like that kind of thing. He's like running, kind of turns a corner, like looks behind him. He's like thinks he's got a good beat, and as he looks back around, is like, what the what?
Yes.
Was that? Huh? What? Who's right up behind them? Was anyone else running?
I'm walking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So finally, you get up to the top since Alona's going to get there first. And as you get up to the top, like looking at everything very sporadically and kind of out of control, as you get up to the top, you just start to see this large reptilian creature, very like 20, 25 foot from tip to tip, spread wings, come right up over, probably about like 20 or 30 feet like above the caterpillar, screech above me, screeching across. There's two others on each side, but what you notice, go ahead and make a perception check.
Get that 5 again.
She had a 6.
Crap, why are you doing this to me? It's an 8.
An 8? Alright. Even with an 8, I mean, the only thing you really make out is this is a very large creature with 4 still pretty decently large creatures next to them. And you see that the main one has kind of like a bluish gray tint to it. And it screeches past you, goes towards the tree line, and starts to like swoop out to the side, coming back. Still in that kind of like V pattern with the bigger one kind of out in front. What do the rest of you guys want to do?
Well,
Can we get up there? Sorry.
as I'm coming
go
up the
ahead.
stairs, I'm talking to Tixon about, you might be able to find one that is just small enough, for a mount for you. So I know some like halflings and things ride dogs. You could find one about that size.
I see.
Talking to him about options as we come up the stairs.
I'm highly interested, and I think we should spend some time looking into this. I mean, it doesn't help. I mean, I just kind of sit on all your guys' shoulders because my legs are short. You
And
try
that's-
walking for miles on end with short legs.
And that is fine, but you could have something that actually helps in combat a little bit.
Okay. Is anyone else going up top?
I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jill and I were on our way up.
Everyone else? Okay. So by the time everyone gets upstairs, Ilona, how long does haste last? Is it a minute?
It's a minute.
Oh God! All right.
Am I still hasted?
They
Yeah.
get a 6-second stun.
Oh my god, it's totally beat all of you guys and beat you up so fast. I don't know what you did, but I love it. It's absolutely amazing. Did you see the dinosaurs? They're just flying around everywhere. It's absolutely fantastic. I love it. What did you do? Dixon, is this how you felt whenever you were calling? Just constant for until a minute.
Henry, do you want
drink
some coffee? Do you want
I've
some
never had
coffee?
coffee before, but it sounds amazing. Is this what it feels like whenever you have coffee? Because I totally want to try it.
You're just gonna sit down. I'm gonna use that coffee maker.
Yes.
Oh no.
Because that's what she needs.
What check do I need to make?
So
With some
as you
coffee.
guys start to get to the top deck, and Ilona lays down what she saw.
That.
I think that's what was happening there.
Kind
Misfit's
of.
gonna kind of follow behind the little dinosaurs for a little bit.
You want him to follow him?
Just for a little bit.
And he like starts to like take off, and he starts to run down the tail of the caterpillar and starts to fly off after them. I mean, he's not as fast as they are, but he's like trying to like mimic their sounds in the air, even though it's Misfit versus dinosaur sounds. But he's trying.
Yeah, no, he's still having fun though, and that's all that really matters.
It's pretty good actually. Like for the first parts, he's kind of like he gets it, but as they start to swoop back around, they go out to the front of the ship again, and they actually go and start to land right on the front of the kind of main balcony.
Did Calypso come up with us?
What's that?
I think Crowdstock got hold of a squeaker.
Did Calypso come up with us?
No, she stayed down below. She's sticking to orders. You guys told her to kind of keep it low, so.
Well, at this point, it doesn't matter. That's why I'm not looking like her anymore.
I'm just gonna make coffee for everybody.
It's a weird pterodactyl.
So as these large dinosaur creatures land on the front, you guys actually for the first time see on the larger one, there actually is a figure on the back of it. And as they land, and the other two kind of land off to the one side and on the other side, they kind of like flap their wings and just kind of like pull them in beside them. The larger one, probably a good like 6 or 7 feet bigger than the other. You want to just like mute that for a little bit there? Hey, there you go. There.
Wait, was it not muted? Was it not?
No.
Awesome.
It kind of actually sounds like pterodactyls, really. I guess we could just leave it. That's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it covers it all pretty well, yeah.
Yeah, it's got some pretty sweet sound effects. So as they land, you see this figure actually get off, and it's a dwarf, and he has kind of like a shaved head, but in the middle there's a sweet like red mohawk right in the middle. And
Alright, we talking like Liberty Spikes Mohawk or just like really long straight column?
I don't know what the difference is, but yes, sure. Yeah.
Spikes or
Like,
flat?
Oh,
spikes?
flat. Yeah, flat.
Fucking
mohawk.
boring.
Yes.
Oh, by
Do you
the
want
way,
it to
my
be spikes?
disguise.
Do you want spikes? It could be spikes, sure.
Yeah.
My disguise self, I'm including a really like gruesome looking scar across my face so that people don't look at me too closely.
Okay, cool. So as he gets off, the larger pterodon, I think that's what they're called, it's kind of like a blue-gray hue to it. The other ones off to the side have different variations of like greens and browns and things, but as this dwarf kind of dismounts from the larger beast and starts to walk up to you, Persephone, you have the highest perception, right? So you probably notice this first. Yep. You see as he walks up, no shirt on, but he does have like this leather strap with a spike. We'll just go with spikes for everything. Sure, it's like a spike piece on the shoulder, and you do notice on the crest over here is the same crest as all the city guard have, which is the coat of arms that has like the 2 circles. One has swords crossed, the other one has a wheel in it. The two coins, and then okay. So that's the crest on here. and he just starts walking up with his. He has a mohawk, but as he walks up and kind of sees this group, I guess he kind of like is like, you know what? And he just starts twirling them off into spikes. Now he's just like doing his hair as he's walking up.
Hey, same shirt.
Sweet beard kind of pulled off into the middle. So it's pulled off in the middle, spiking it as he goes up. No shirt on, and just walks up. He goes, "Oi, who's in charge here?"
We don't really have any one specific person in charge. We work as a team all together. See, my name's Alona.
All right,
I'm gonna shake his hand like.
not. It is too early in the morning for all of that, love. No,
I'm just gonna.
I didn't catch a wind of any of that. You are quite lovely, though.
Can somebody translate for me, please? I don't think you understand what I'm saying. I don't think he's coming.
Calm down, Alona. I'm gonna go right behind her and then drop haste so when she's stunned, she doesn't fall off.
He kind of like looks back at the dinosaurs, and the dinosaurs are kind of like. Argh. They're all very confused right now.
Alona just had an energy crash, and now she just went from like, I don't know why he doesn't understand. Oh my gosh!
All right, yeah, there we go. Ah, like an on-off switch. All right, yeah, good. All right.
I just point at Purse Phone because that's the one that's talking a lot.
Purse Phone.
The talky one.
Oi, you're in charge here then.
Maybe.
So what is all this here? I mean, it's not every day there's a large contraption coming through the forest. What's going on?
Train wreck.
Wait, were you guys not told you had a big fucking, like, wreck on the way over here? Thought these guys came from Inbrick.
Well, alright. 1 second. And he kind of, like, walks back over to the dinosaur. You see out to the side there's, like, saddlebags on the edge of this dinosaur. He kind of looks in, kind of pulls out some paperwork. Let's see here. I don't really see. Is this and about this as he's looking through paperwork, so you hear this. Oh fuck! Why are we stopping? What the hell's going on here? And you hear Mac comes up. He's like, "What the hell? We're supposed to be in Inbrick. We got deadlines here. Why are we stopped? What is all this?" He comes warming up. Hey, who the hell are you? He's talking to the dwarf now. What the hell? Who the hell are you? Why are these dinosaurs? Get him off! He comes like walking over, like trying to like swish the dinosaurs off. They kind of like flap up and like come back down. And the dwarven guy goes, I don't see here why you're supposed to be coming through. What is the meaning of your business? He goes, I got it right here, but hold on. He starts going through the paperwork, pulls out a yellow sheet. Look, we're supposed to be delivering this train with extra cargo. I put that in parentheses, so you'll find that out later. But we're supposed to take this back down to the Inbrick station here for repairs here, bud. You're breaking my balls. I love that. I'm going to use that for Mac for everything, by the way. You're breaking my balls here, bud. We got to get going. The guy kind of looks over the paperwork for a bit. All right.
I whisper to Persephone, do Warforged even have balls?
Just shrug.
Alright, everything seems to be in order here. Alright. I'm gonna have to make a copy of this real quick. And he kind of like goes back over to his saddlebag, takes the paperwork with him. Max kind of like tapping his toes for a little bit. Turns back towards you guys. He's like, what's this guy's deal? Like, I mean, we're trying to get this thing back to Inbrick, and this guy's got flying, I almost said Pikachu's. He's got flying Pikachu's. I don't know. He's got flying, iguanas in the air here. What's the meaning here?
Sure, hey man. I'm gonna even ask him. Like, did he know we have this drop off? You guys even came from this place, right? Like,
I know, right? This is what I mean. Very unorganized. See, us Warforged, we got stuff we got to do when it's done. I mean, these dwarves and stuff. There, a lot of things going on with the gods here in Inbrick. Not a lot of organization. Not a lot of knowing what's going on. The guy comes back. All right, everything's in order here. You can carry on. Sorry for the delay. Right, and he goes back onto the dinosaurs, and the dinosaurs take off, and you guys...
Wait.
As I'm laying on the ground. What was your name?
Oh, Sourjaw.
Nice to meet you.
Sourjaw?
You too, love. All right. Somebody might want to help her. She's...
Oh, we got some coffee.
Quite right.
Yeah.
All
Just
right.
gonna keep
Good day,
working
then.
on.
And he's gonna get
I'm
back
just gonna
on
do
the dinosaurs.
presentation as like a little.
Peace out. What are you
I'm
doing?
gonna do presentation as like a little mist fan. Just a bunch of little gust of winds.
Yep.
Yeah.
Try to help her out a little bit. You now feel this little
just like one of those little Disney fans you
spray, like a little spray bottle.
Yeah.
It's adorable. Can it also rotate so it goes?
It's just my cantrip. I'm just doing this constantly.
Perfect. Excellent. All right. So as the dinosaurs take off and start to go back towards Imbric, the caterpillar takes off again, and you guys slowly start to pull into the upper station, which is at the north side right there. By the way, before we keep going, thank you to our lovely Heather for putting this map together. She did all of this by hand because she's amazing, awesome, and lots of fun stuff in here for us to explore, guys. And we'll see what all we get to here today. But just want to throw kudos out, right? Because I don't know how to do any of that shit. So pretty sweet. Let's see here. Talking to Allegra, upon. All right. So as you guys pull into the station, Mac instantly gets off. Starts. He has all his paperwork. He's going to find the head foreman there. He starts, rattling off. You can hear him cussing off in the side. All the Warforged get off and start taking some of the pieces off. And after he's done talking to the head foreman there, he comes back to you guys and says, all right, so I can get my guys to get these mech things off. Where do you want them to live? You want to just leave them here? You got somewhere you want them delivered? Or what do you want to do with this stuff? All about paperwork here, guys. All about paperwork. I gotta know where I'm shipping it.
They're ours now. Yeah, drop that here. With us.
Want me to leave them here?
Send it back to the Wild Phoenix.
Where the hell is that? Is that a new shop in Imbric? I'm not familiar with that one.
No.
He goes, hey guys, you ever heard of the Wild Phoenix? And you hear this one guy goes, Jimothy? 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 And the other guy
How
goes,
about this?
Fuckface. 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 Jimothy? Fuckface.
I'm going to write out a quick note to Rupert, telling him to watch out for these. We'll be back in a bit. And say, deliver it to the Academy, the Ingenieur, give this to Professor Rupert.
You're still talking to Mac?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on, lady. Hold on. Whoa. You want me to take these things where? I'm really kind of lost here. Where you want these to go?
Academy.
Oh, the Academy. Okay. Whew. Okay,
Engineers.
Yeah. I've never heard of this Wild Phoenix before. Okay, who am I delivering this to?
Rupert.
Rupert. Okay. Professor Rupert?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. I know that guy. He's a little wackadoodle, but all right, cool. All right.
And I just hold out the note. It's for him to give to Rupert.
Okay. All right, and you got these 1, 2, 3. What is this? What we say? You guys got 4 of these things, the MX things here. I think you guys have 4, right?
I think it
3, I believe.
Yeah,
3, and then the
you could have had 4. All you had to do was lie. 3. Okay.
We're honest players.
We have integrity, DM.
Lying is for losers.
The DM will remember this. All right. All right, 2 mechs, 3 mech stangs, and a note to Professor. All right, anything else I can do for you guys?
I look to Alona about the orb, the dragon heart.
Oh, no, that's still taken care of. But I can. It would actually be easier and probably safer if we just went there and then I sort of gutted out.
That's fine.
Yeah, so did you rip this door off, or is it still part of the train?
Well, I had wanted to, cast Reduce on the door.
We had time.
So that it would, shrink from... I don't know how that would work. If it was too much trouble, I'll just leave it. I'll just buy a new door, it's fine.
You can pick it up. You had a day and a half. You can do whatever you want.
Okay, I'll pick it up. I would have cast Reduce so that Lincoln can pick it up and carry it. And then eventually it would have expanded and I would have been he can carry a door, and then I wouldn't have shrunk it back down again, so I still have all my spell slots for today.
Okay, so as you guys are getting off the train and everything's getting delivered, Lincoln is now carrying a door on his back, just so I have the visual in my head. So
that's adorable.
Am I just? You just want me to carry this door? That's
Our plan hinges on you doing so.
Actually, would I have had time to like put it back into my coat?
I think once it's off the coat, it's off the coat. I don't think it goes back on.
Well, yeah, but I would have had to put the patches on somehow. So do I not know how to like repatch it?
Well, that is a good question.
How are we going to patch up this break in
I'm almost
continuity?
regretting giving the alchemist a fucking coat of many coat things. Sure, that sounds super fun. Yes, sure. So in the day and a half, you shrink a door, you make it, you pull it off, you make it back into a patch and put it back on your patch. On your coat.
Yes. Well, then I have it on my coat.
Fair enough, cool. So I'm not carrying a door. Nothing hinges on Lincoln. Got it. No.
Our plan no longer hinges on carrying.
Cool. Alright. So you guys are in the station. You got the mechs going to the academy. You got the mech stangs going to the academy. You got your door. You got your orb. You got your people. You are in the city of Imbrek. You're on the north side. What do you guys want to do?
Person named Bennett. Where do we go? What do we do now?
I just look at Calypso, your ladyship. Just giving her this look like, my persona is not from here. You're leading the way.
Oh, quite right. I guess I suppose we should go back to the House of Blades then. All right. If we're going to do this, we should probably do this the proper way. And she's going to look around. Oh, do we have any sort of transportation, or am I huffing this?
I got my bike.
Oh,
yes.
I still have my bike.
What about the rest of us?
that could be fun.
You should have had bikes.
Well, we haven't exactly had the ability
You can
to get
drive
them.
slow enough.
Yeah.
Are there any people
I'll take the
handing out
pregnant
like
lady on the bike.
brochures?
What was your question, Nick?
Are there any people handing out brochures or pamphlets?
Pamphlets or brochures?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
If they are, I'm collecting all of them.
Make a perception check.
Like the equivalent of map to the stars' homes.
Maybe. 16. Okay. We'll just do this as a group check. I'll tell you a little bit about what you're seeing as you're going through.
Oh, we're all rolling now?
We'll use Nick's 16. I'll tell you a little bit about what you see.
Oh, I don't have to roll.
All right, you ready?
Any gargoyles?
Ooh, we'll roll for that in a second.
Any dinosaurs we could feasibly appropriate.
Oh, God.
So, the city of Imbric. The Jewel of Theris. Upon entering the city, the hustle and bustle is apparent and well noted, like from the gate. All right, everywhere you look, there is something to behold. There's merchants with carts of fruits and nuts and grains line one side of the street, while vendors are shouting their wares and as you're passing by, just people are trying to grab your attention. So yes, there's people with pamphlets holding out. You can grab whatever you want, Nick. I'll tell you all the pamphlets. You go ahead and roll a d6.
How many of them are for shitty timeshares?
Dang it.
All of them.
Both of those two that he just picked up. on the lower side of the island. Across the way from the one side, across the way there's butchers with fresh meats strung up across posts that line the front of their wares. There's livestock right there, metal cages. I mean, talk about fresh. It's right there in the cage, just fresh right off the feathers there. There's chickens, there's goats, there's all kinds of small creatures. There's spoils of the sea on display. There's different sized fish and crustaceans and crabs, all available for purchase. Right as soon as you just get into this front area, seems to be this is a very merchant heavy hub coming right off the train into Imbric, into the cityscape here. Now, while these shops are stationary, as you start to walk your way in further into the city, one of the things that you start to notice is, although some of these initial shops are stationary, there are some mobile shops as well. However, instead of the standard beasts of burden like oxen or cow or cattle, there's these, they're being pulled slowly by somewhat larger and harder hided exterior creatures. The streets of Imbric are noticeably wider than other cities, with open air breezeways you can see up to the sky for these huge dinosaurs pulling large wagons, some the size of small huts and buildings. Basically mobile shops just slowly making their way as they walk. So, very sure-footed steps, minding some of the other patrons walking around to not, mistakenly step on someone.
So they have, shops on the dinos' backs?
Some are actually on some of the dinosaurs. Like, some of your, more Stegosaurus-type dinosaurs, where they have, the old little blades, and it's kind of built up around that. And
dinosaurs!
Dinosaurs!
Doesn't that make the dinos sore?
Dinosaurs. Some are being pulled behind some of the other ones.
The dinosaurs are dinosaur.
That's a very prehistoric joke.
Emphasis on the historic portion of it, yeah.
So as you continue walking, so this is some of the visual stuff that you're getting, right? Now, there's also numerous different smells, right? Lots of different senses here. So a lot of visual stuff with all these dinosaurs and everything. Lots of different senses traverse through the streets as well. You smell rich breads, sweet pastries in windows, exotic fruits, all kinds of different pleasant aromas are just wafting around the central market area as you move from one end, as you continue to traverse through to the next. This plethora mixture of smells is stimulating and intriguing all at once. So for some of you who haven't been here before, it's a lot to take in. For someone like, obviously, Persephone, but Lincoln and Ilona have been here before. So it's kind of like revisiting this large city. It's still kind of a lot to take in, even though you've been here once before. Does anyone want to do anything as you continue walking?
Gargoyles.
Make a perception check.
No, that travel, so that's a 6 plus 4. Still 10.
Okay. So the architecture of the buildings here are a different kind of mixture. So far you've had a lot of visual stimulation and aroma stimulation, right? So another thing to take in is the mixture of some of the old and new blending of stone to some of these buildings. Although the city itself is relatively young in terms of its residency, now Percy would know a little bit more about this and has shared a little bit about what that means, but you can certainly ask more if you want. The old city still shines through in some of the decor and the color combinations that can be seen in some of the doors and the archways, in some of the cobblestone streets, which you'll actually get to more so on the island side.
Gotcha.
In terms of gargoyles, not so much here. This is a relatively new area. You might have a better chance at what you almost would consider old Imbric on the island there. Reminiscent of Upper Azeros. Now, well, before we get there, is there anything you guys want to do on this side before we start to cross the bridge over to the island?
I'm pushing for us to get Calypso home ASAP.
Okay.
Yeah, we can always come back and be toured.
I just have two things I want to keep an eye out for as we're walking. The first one, I want to see if anybody's giving Calypso the stank eye, if anybody's following us or notice she's back in town and seems surprised or upset by this. And I also want to just, by passing glance, want to see if I can just catch a glimpse of Fox.
Okay. I'm going to make that 2 separate perception checks, though.
That's fair. Oh, no. Okay.
Fox doesn't even recognize me at this point. I'm a pale man with no face.
This one is Fox and this one is the people.
Okay.
Not great, guys.
Can I also be?
Oh wait, before she does anything, can I give her guidance? Do that now. She hasn't said what it was yet.
No, I think it's too late. I already rolled.
Dang. All right, I'm gonna keep that in mind. I
Perception?
keep forgetting that I have that.
It's a 15 to look for Fox and an 8 to look for anyone keeping an eye on us.
Okay. As you look around, first of all, again, taking in the whole city landscape and everything, and kind of like refocusing. Oh, one of the things I wanted to do is I wanted to find Fox so that we can try to meet befriend Fox. Did I do that good? I feel like that was
a great loaded question.
So you start instantly, like, even though people are like, fresh fish, get your fresh fish. Hey, they're beautiful. Check out this. And they're like kind of like holding out this fish in front of you, and you're like, that's a lovely fish, but hold on. And you're like looking around, and you see like nuts and berries, and that's what kind of triggers you to kind of look for Fox. You're like, oh, he likes nuts and berries. He also likes cookies and things. And you're like, the whole kind of looking around, as even with that 15, it's almost like you kind of sort of like you see Fox, like, wait, no, that's not him. Oh wait, it's a very busy day in the merchant place, in the marketplace.
I figured. But
with that being said, with your 8 of trying to see if everyone's really following you, not only kind of sort of distracted trying to find Fox in the first place, so you're kind of more focused on that, not really noticing anyone following you, but what I will say, even with that 8 and the 15 kind of combined, you do kind of take notice that there are some people giving you stink eyes, but they're not looking at Calypso.
Who are they looking at?
Looking at me.
Probably the goblin, yeah.
Are they looking at Six?
With a 15 and an 8, you just know that you're getting stink eyes, but not really, and you notice it's not really looking at Calypso.
I mean, we've got a goblin and a kobold. That's probably not great.
It's pretty kobold of us, really.
Taking a stand.
Ilona's gonna give the stink eye back, I guess.
Okay.
Her best impression of stink eye, so like...
Make an intimidation check.
Yeah, I know, right? I kind of want to see one. You see, like, you definitely make out these 3 ladies off to the side, kind of like they're mid-late 30s. Some like a little heavier set one that's really kind of skinny and snarky, and they're all kind of like off to the side, and they're kind of, it seems like they have some sort of like laundry or something, and they kind of look over and they all like do one of those. You catch that.
Hello. That's her stink eye.
And they'll all like kind of like turn back and start talking, but you can't really hear what they're saying.
Who are you waving to?
I didn't know. Those 3 ladies were sort of looking at us and
turn and look at them. The 3 ladies, like those 3.
Yeah, those 3.
Decently dressed, not necessarily rags, but not necessarily high noble fashion or anything. But they seem pretty well off.
They
Dresses,
look offended
short cut sleeve.
At us, and I thought maybe if we said
they start to kind of like grab their baskets as you guys are kind of approaching. They're up ahead of you, and as they're starting to approach, they kind of like pick up their stuff and kind of like walk away and then off to the side a little bit. Still kind of like looking back every now and again.
Just probably some random judgmental ladies. No big issue.
Can I figure out who they're looking at?
You and your high perception stuff. Alright, hold on. Let me think of how I want to play that for you.
Would that be more of an insight?
Yeah, I like that. I think, with your high enough perception and the idea is that you're trying to get Calypso through, I'd almost like to borderline say that you're already looking out for that stuff. So I'll say with your high perception, you see those 3 ladies too, but if you want to get an idea of what they're doing, yeah, that'd be more of an insight check.
I like it. 15?
15. Okay. With that 15, I'll say that... I'll say with that 15, you can tell they're not looking at Calypso, but you kind of like look around and see that they are looking in Calypso's direction. And you when you look at that direction, I mean, you see, Styx is on a bike. There's a kobold over here. There's a big crocodile man over here. It's like this whole like line of sight of what they Pop might have been staring at?
I forget we had a big old lizard folk.
So the more monstrous of the races, they're probably iffy on. Okay.
Guys, keep trudging through.
Yep.
Kind of making your way down this way. This way.
Any red buzzards, I guess I'll ask?
This way. Any red buzzards? You can look around if you want.
Sure, I'll take a perception or look. I don't know what that is.
Sure.
Let's take a look. That is a 8, because that's 4 plus 4.
An 8? This is a new town with new people with all kinds of fun stuff and smells and things. You're like, why have you not eaten anything yet? Of anything random? Why are you not licking a wall yet? That's what we're There's so many new sights and smells and tastes here that it's almost uncanny that you haven't. As you guys start to come across this first initial bridge here, reminiscent of Upper Azeroth, there are trolleys that actually run from one side of the bridge to the other. You can still walk across, but right down the middle of the thoroughfare there is a trolley that goes from one end to the other. And Percy, you would know this, that not only do these trolleys go across the bridge, but they also go all the way to the end of the street, down here. And there's actually a trolley that goes across the middle from there to there, and from there to there. So there's all these like really cool, once you guys get a little farther down to the city, like towards the end where it kind of has to like stop, get to that like little circle cul-de-sac kind of thing, kind of switch around, and then go back down the other way.
The rich don't walk if they can help it.
What's that?
The rich don't walk if they can help it.
Nope, not on the floating island over here. You know, a lot of trying to use this is a very step up from the Upper Azeroth that you were in before. What do you guys want to do? You gonna keep going across the bridge?
Calypso probably is gonna want the trolley.
Onward!
Okay. So as you guys get to the main gate there, you can hop on the trolley. Ding, ding! Starts to go down across the way. And there are multiple stops as you go across. You start to go across the initial bridge, and again, you see that kind of old and new mix of the stonework in the bridge. Trying to keep that old in-brick feel to it, but a lot of modernization to it from the old city to the new. Another thing you notice as you start to go across the water, and you first get into the actual island itself, one of the things you see on one of the first stops here, right there, as you're kind of waiting there, you guys can get off the first stop if you want, but as you are looking around, you do see more Warforged, very heavy presence on this side, and you see some of them like kind of walking around, not really saying anything, but they walk around and one stops and bends down and picks up a piece of trash and like puts it in a bag, and then kind of walks around again and then stops and picks up another thing and puts it in a bag. And if you look off to the side, there's like a couple Warforged like painting something, like painting the side of a wall. You guys are on the island side of Imbrick. What do you guys want to do here?
Quick question. What happened to that cowboy we had captured?
What did we do with them? Oh, we would have been bringing him along then because we're dropping him off at the House of Rhodes.
No, we're not.
Okay. Is that what you want to do?
How about the courthouse then?
That's fine.
Okay. Because that one's right here.
So, as you come across, we have... This is the blue. Nope. This is the blue. Nope. This is the blue. Nope.
So, yeah. That one's a courthouse.
That one's the blue one. And did you make... Is it yellow or orange for the coin down there? It's kind of like an orange, I guess.
It's an orange, yeah. Orangish red.
Okay. This is the House of Courts. This is the Dwarven one, the House of Roads. This is yours, right? The House of Blades. And then the House of Coin. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What did you...
So that one's the dwarves.
Yeah, what did we decide for the statue in the middle there?
I think that was the former king.
Perfect. Okay. I think we should. Alright, cool. So, you guys can get off this very first exit and deliver your friend to the courthouse, which is right here.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, finally. I don't want to be around you anymore. This is terrible.
Hey man,
worst trip of my life.
He's been real astute with making sure you get food. He's been a good guy for you.
Just get me out of here. I'm done. I'm done with this group.
I gag him.
People.
Just wrap something around his face and hope that it works. And as I'm tightening it, I just whisper to him, I hope they erase your brain.
Jeez.
What?
Sticks just chuckles.
And just drop him off at the courthouse saying that he's one of the fallen and he needs to be tried.
Okay. So when you walk up to the courthouse, very large, again, a very large stone presence to this building as well. Definitely trying to keep with that old architecture with the archways with the stones going across. I believe they're actually called keystones, if I'm not mistaken, like the archway with the middle piece. There is guards out front with that very same emblem on the shoulder. Their armor, now the dwarf you met before, bare-chested, being all, cool with his shirt all out, his beard all spiky. These guys are a little bit more put together, if you will. You have noticed some of them, have you been walking through the town and on the trolley and everything like that, there's a very heavy guard presence, more so than Azeros or even Upper Azeros that you've been in before, Amok, any of those cities. There's way more city guard walking around here, and it's a leather, like more like a leather outfit to the top with that emblem up top. And now that you guys can see this a little closer, Percy recognizes this symbol, but it's a coat of arms with a shield with two coins on top of each other. On the top set of coins are two blades that cross, and on the bottom coin has a wheel. So it represents the four houses of Imbric: the House of Coin, the House of Roads, the House of Blades, and the House of Quartz. Okay. As you walk up and approach, the one guard says, halt! State your business.
Dropping off a prisoner.
Name?
Bennett.
Two N's,
Wait.
two T's?
Yes.
Name of the prisoner or name of the droppers off?
No. Which one is that?
That's me. We don't know his name.
You see him go.
Yes, we do. It's Tweedledee.
Oh, that's right. I forgot
Starts
that they
scratching
said
up,
which one it was.
crumbles the paper, pulls out another one. All right. One more time. Let's try the name of the prisoner. Let's go with that. Let's start there.
It's Tweedledee.
Tweedledee. All right, here we go. All right. And you all are? Just need one name.
GearHearts.
Whoa, okay. All right. All right.
Totally picturing Alona actually does that.
Yeah, no, she
Anytime
does.
she hears the name, just has the superhero pose.
Yeah.
Everyone else looks at her weird.
And she does kind of like the thing. It's like make it sound like.
All right, so
people are
you're dropping off this one here. What about are the rest of these with you? And he's pointing at Geo, Tixon, Sticks.
Yes. And I give
Of
him
course
this
they're
look
with
like
us. They're part of the GearHearts.
I give him this look like don't you argue.
Why wouldn't they be? They aren't exactly dressed up in binds or anything like this guy.
Yeah, they're all completely harmless. Truly wonderful people.
Oh,
Any gargoyles?
No. Yeah, totally harmless. That one with
Sticks just grins, seal his teeth.
large taloned teeth and swords and things. Yes.
Well, I wouldn't call them harmless, but I wouldn't really say that about any of us, or you for that matter, indicating.
Yeah. I could totally mess you up.
Have you all been to the city before? Do you not know?
Oh, I have!
Oh, okay. So then you know that this isn't... We don't really
I just shake my head now.
harbor to these kind of people. Are
What,
they
good people?
Yeah.
You don't harbor to good people? That doesn't really make any sort of sense.
Well, no, so
I
you're
think he
fine.
means monstrous.
I just want to give him this look and say, you want to shut up and finish your paperwork now.
Go ahead and make it an intimidation check there, Percy.
Come on, Percy! I mean, Bennett!
Totally not Percy.
Oh my god, I keep
not
rolling
Percy.
10s. 12.
That's okay. I would roll a 3.
Yeah, 3.
All right.
It's just like the third 10 I've rolled tonight. That just sucks.
I have not rolled above a 10.
So he's gonna keep writing his paperwork, but at the very end he's gonna say, "Listen, just make sure you keep an eye on these guys. I mean, you've been here before. You do realize
Shut up. Finish your paperwork.
creatures are not openly
Shut up.
accepted here,
Oh,
right?
creatures.
You do get that.
Shut
You can see
Finish
Sixon
the paperwork.
getting slightly irritated.
All right, someone sign this, please. He's gonna hand over a paper.
I'm gonna hand it to Alona.
I sign it.
Well, I'm still giving him the stink eye.
I signed Alona with my flower.
And I'm just giving him the stink eye the whole time.
Hey, Lona, can I see that a moment?
Yeah, and I'll hand it
Crumple it up, and then hand it to him.
No, you made it harder to read.
Yeah, that was the point. Don't worry
See that
about
the
it.
Warforged gets a trial ASAP. And then I'm just gonna turn and walk away.
You hand him the paper back crumpled, or you
Yep.
drop it on the floor?
I handed it back to him, crumpled up.
All right. He's gonna take that paper and throw it on the ground and get out another piece of paper.
I love it.
All right. Third time's a charm. Here we go. Tweedledee. GearHearts.
Every time.
All right. Here we go.
I want to sign it.
Prisoner drop off. Here we go.
Can I sign it?
Of course you can sign it, and I'll hand it to
Just
Vixen.
take it, and I'll sign it with a smile looking up at him.
Hey, Dixon, can I see that?
No, don't do it! I don't want to be helping. There's so many things to do.
Once is...
Pray.
Once is...
Yeah, what's up?
Business. Deadline.
Yes.
Fine.
Yeah, hand him the paper.
All right. Curtis! And you see another guy from up top come down, grabs Tweedledee, starts hauling him off. And the guard just slowly walks away and turns his back to you guys. Doesn't say anything.
What did this guy look like?
This guard?
Oh.
The one that took our information.
This guard? Okay, this guard, again, with the traditional, guard armor on. Kind of a black beard. Okay. Kind of well cut-ish. Long black hair. Not really all that well kept, but, I mean, decent. Just regular brown eyes. A little bit of a stash here.
Alright. Before he walks away, I'm going to put my hand out and be like, I'm sorry for the trouble. And if he gives me a handshake, I'm going to put just a little bit of static to make all his hair just poof.
Yes.
Piss off the door if I like it.
Yeah. He's not going to extend his hand. Yep. Alright.
As Tweedledee is getting carried away, I'm going to cast Mage Hand and get back my handcuffs off Tweedledee. They're my handcuffs. I've got a key, I just unlock them and take them back.
Well, we'll say you can take them back before he takes them off if you want.
Yeah.
What was the guard's name?
Curtis and Marcus.
Curtis.
Does it look weird that I keep looking up here at you guys, even though I should probably be looking down here? Is that weird?
I mean, I have to look up here.
Okay,
so.
fair enough. Okay, good.
I look wherever is relevant because I can move my thing.
I have 2 monitors.
Quick question. Any gargoyles in that building?
An important question.
You can go ahead and perception again if you like.
Alright, let's do that.
Are you feeling
Alright,
perception tonight?
ooh, that is a 2 plus 4, so no.
6.
You know you had
We're
high
all
hopes for this
rolling.
side.
Well. Oh, well.
We're all rolling perception?
Crab and I cannot perceive anything tonight.
The city is just taking you back in awe.
I mean, I've got a 17. It's fine.
Hey, look, I have a positive opinion because there's no gargoyles yet, so we're good.
That's good, yeah. Nothing in the
Yeah.
immediate threat
I mean-
zone.
I mean, there's like a little bit of racism, but I don't give a shit. Guys.
That's a very lizard folk response, yes.
Amazing.
So
Alright, so the prisoner has been dropped off. You guys are standing quite literally in the middle of Island Imbrick, outside of the courthouse.
I just start pushing Calypso to the Place du Jour.
What was all that about? Why was he being such a dick? Well, I don't understand.
The guard?
Yeah.
Wait. Lona's connecting the dots in her head.
No?
No,
I
it's
mean-
it's quite easy, love. They just hate monster races. They're stuck up and only like humans and humanoids.
Yeah.
So me, Jill, and Colt, and Sticks and there stand out like a sore thumb in this place.
Stupid humans.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Aren't
don't
you
get out
human?
much. That's why I was wondering.
I am human.
just don't really see the problem, but all right.
Well, maybe you can work on fixing it. You're gonna have a lot of downtime.
Make a lot of interesting assumptions about your sister's life.
She's gonna be locked up for her safety until this gets fixed.
And she's going. We do know she's pregnant, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And she's got to get ready for her.
That sounds like the opposite of free time to me.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Well-
So, are we off?
He just
Yes.
played
Not
A.
too far. It's just right around the corner.
No, Jill, humanoids don't lay eggs.
No,
Oh,
Gio, no. Who told you that?
Volt, do you
Well,
have that
actually-
biology book?
According to the books that I read,
oh,
females
Lord.
kind of lay eggs.
I'm just gonna ask for
They
the
do?
biology book to hand.
No, that doesn't sound right.
No,
That,
but
That's
Jill ate
not
my book.
right.
No, it's not actually laying an egg, but they do have eggs, and they sort of lay
Oh.
them, but it's not. It doesn't. It's just sort of.
We'll
See,
get
look
you
at
all
this
books.
diagram.
I'm gonna just take that book and read it for a bit, I guess.
I guess
Don't
you're
eat
not,
it.
You're not actually wrong, Ilona. No, I guess I never really thought of it that way, but no.
Yeah,
Now
it's
you
kind
have
of.
Calypso kind of looking around. She's like, wait a minute. Oh,
Let's just keep walking.
right. Actually, Sticks, do you mind, love? Can I get on here? Oh,
Of course, my dear.
get back on the motorcycle.
I love their friendship.
Great.
I guess I'll read about human biology. This sounds fun.
All right.
you can learn how best to eat them when you're not around humanoid allies.
Please don't eat my book.
Oh my god, I can't eat the book.
That's how you
Read a
learn things by
page.
eating them.
Eat a page, read a page, eat a
Just like
page.
if you're gonna eat it, just give me like the due date sticker at least.
All right.
I give him that, I guess.
My
You know that's
crocodile
like
ate my
3 years
homework.
ago, right?
Sorry, teacher. Jill ate my homework. The crocodile ate my homework.
All right,
I don't
yeah,
believe
that's
you.
what I'm doing now. I read a page and then I eat it. We're good. Let's keep going.
That's how you get true knowledge. You eat it.
Sticks just tucks his book further into his coat.
Keep away from the crocodile. Good. That's
I gotta wonder
probably
what would
good.
happen if he ate a book that was infested by a demon. That would be interesting.
And by the way, they
Okay,
kind of
test
taste
that.
like they kind of taste like Ritz crackers. By the way, Gio. Every page is just another cracker. Just another cracker.
All right. I put some honey on each page I eat. I'm good.
Crackers and honey. Perfect. All right, to the House of Blades then.
Ah,
Yep.
So as you guys are going away from the House of Courts, you pass down the street, around the corner to the House of Blades. And as you approach to the front, again, now just like the courthouse, and you kind of got a glimpse of the House of Courts when you first came in off the trolley there. Past the courthouse, now you're coming around to the House of Blades, one of the 4 main houses of Imbrick. One of the things that you notice is, again, this is a very large, grand-scale building compared to all the other buildings that are around here. Some are, again, residential, just like on the other side, on the mainland. Some are some shops and things that you're passing by. You pass a roasted waterfall, just like from Azeros before, which is a famous coffee place that you guys have traversed.
Make sure Tixon does not go in.
Just keep
Say
pushing.
later.
Just
We have
keep
time.
pushing. Just keep pushing along.
I can make my own coffee.
Okay.
Yeah, hey, you were making coffee for us earlier, right? Where is all that?
Well, It's working. Don't worry. It's a slow process.
It's like a book bag.
I've been at this for like hours, though. It's a long walk.
I'm gonna check it. Is the coffee ready?
It's ready!
Can I... How good is it? Should I roll something for that?
Sure. Just make a straight intelligence check to see if you poured the right amount of coffee grounds in.
I mean, I've got proficiency in the tools.
Sure.
Good job.
Let's see. How about a 21?
21? Who all wants coffee?
Yeah. He's gonna give everyone coffee.
I will pass.
He'll drink yours.
That's fine.
Cool. Lincoln will take one too. So you have 6 cups of coffee you can hand out.
Yeah, so that's enough for everyone but Percy and Calypso. I think math. It's 1,
And
2,
Lincoln.
3, 4, 5. Yeah, dude, Link. Ah, fuck. There's 7 of you. Ah,
Math.
Lincoln. Yeah, he can have my coffee.
Oh, okay. I'll make more later. It's fine.
So you guys are walking through the streets of Imbrick to go coffee cups in hand.
Ilona very excitedly takes the coffee, takes one sip, and it's just like hands it to Lincoln. I don't like this.
Frey starts to try to take a sip, remembers the whole situation where the mask just absorbs anything he puts up to his mouth and lowers it a little bit.
Straw.
I might accidentally eat that too, I don't know.
I'll offer a straw.
Take the straw, put it in. Try to take a sip.
It goes through.
Alright, okay, yeah, that works. Thank you.
It kind of like gurgles a little bit. It's like it's still moving. It's always constantly moving on your face, but it just kind of like doesn't necessarily part out of the way. It just somehow seems to just coalesce through there. Just
What is Lincoln's take on this?
as I'm watching this face, or as he's having 2 cups of coffee.
Both.
No, the kawa is great. No, man, this is awesome. I love coffee. This roasted waterfall stuff. You know, they do have like where'd you get these beans at? Did you like brew these? Did you roast these? Grind these yourself?
Got them in Upper Azeros.
Oh, there's probably some different flavors here that you could probably get.
Oh yeah, we have to go to.
There's literally one at like every corner in the city.
I mean, I can see that.
Some are like right across the street. It's ridiculous.
Why? Why are but?
And British love their coffee, man. I don't know.
I don't know. But I mean, do they all have to be on the same intersection at all 4 corners? It's a little excessive at that point.
We'll go. We'll go get you some fresh grounds, man. There's some good stuff in here, like different flavors and stuff.
I destroy my coffee with honey, and then just drink that.
Perfect.
Stick's gonna have a bit of his and put it in his bottle holder that he's got in his bag.
There you go. Nice. Cup holder on the bike.
Pull out a bottle of Apple Jacks and top it up with the Apple Jacks.
Ah, there you go.
Nice.
Irish coffee. I like
Nice.
it.
Yep.
Apple coffee.
Yep.
Oh, that sounds good. Give me some of that.
Are you trying to hide that from Calypso, who's riding a motorcycle with you right now? Drunk and driving, gobbling you?
It's only a little bit.
Okay. Are you trying to hide this?
Only a little bit, like half a bottle.
No.
Just don't drive fast, Sticks. This is.
I won't drive faster than you on.
Just remember this.
Did I drive faster in the desert? I drove nice and safely until you got a little bit excited and went a bit faster.
All right.
I remember hearing the squeeze of enjoyment.
This is the strangest sight.
All right, just.
Yes.
All new experiences for me. I've never seen a goblin drink and drive and motorcycle all at the same time. Just take your time. That's all I ask.
It's a learning curve for you.
All right. So, as you approach the House of Blades,
Finally.
right? I'll have your cups in tow here. Again, so one of the things you notice is that this building is easily noticeable, like larger than some of the other buildings. Okay. Again, kind of that same thought process of blending the old with the new architecture, but you do notice this has a little bit more of an old feel to it. When you first walk up, it's like a 2-story building, very wide, as compared to some of the other ones. And in the front, there's the sloping roofs, kind of different pitches to the front, lots of windows in the front as well. And when you first walk, the main front entrance are these two large wooden doors with the metal across the top and the bottom. Very nice kept kind of landscape all right around here. You do see like a warforged or two kind of walking around, like trimming a bush and picking up trash. What do you guys want to do? You want to approach?
We'll knock on the door.
Yeah, push Calypso forward.
Okay.
Welcome
As you
home.
guys knock on the door and walk up, the doors do open, and there is a warforged there. Just kind of gets out of the way. And as you walk into the main foyer area, one of the things you notice is that there's rooms off to the there's a hallway off to the front, off to the right, and off to the left. But in this main thoroughfare here, there's hundreds of blades. And when you look along the wall, all of them seem to make like this really cool kind of X pattern, and they go up the wall, all the way up to the ceiling, all the way up to the ceiling, doorway, all the way up to the ceiling. And along the way, kind of about like maybe like 10 feet up the wall, this from floor to ceiling is probably about 20 feet, and it kind of like makes like this almost kind of like dome circular shape above you, where all the swords kind of meet in the middle. But about 10 feet all the way around, you see this crest of the House of Blades, which is, I believe we said it was 2 blades, or you can even pull it up if you want.
I think I might have it in here.
All the swords look like they're... Go ahead.
Yeah.
Why it's called the House of Blades.
There you go. And on the coat of arms, the colors are like a royal blue and with a silver outline to it. So again, just numerous blades crossing. Off to the one room off to the left, as you just take a quick look, you do see like fine plate work hidden behind like almost like these glass panels all along the one wall. And off to the other side, you do see kind of like more of a formal room with like some sort of like carpeting on the floor, like a grand rug. And there's like a piano off to the side, very large windows, and also, what was that other thing? The piano, the rug, and not necessarily like a desk area, but a very large like kind of like table area in that one. Now going down the front hallway, it does have like a spiral staircase made of like white marble that goes up to the top, and it goes in the hallway in front of you is very dark. It's kind of hard to see what's going on down there. But as you walk into this, you get the idea that, you know, the main thought of walking into this grand hallway is a lot of wow factor to it. It's made to awe-struck you as you walk in, and a very powerful prestige presence. A lot of P's there. Powerful prestige presence.
Are all the blades sharpened?
For where you're standing, it definitely looks more decorative. They don't look like they're necessarily made for combat.
Bennett, are those real swords?
Yeah.
Reach over, try to yank one out of the wall.
They're real, but they're not used anymore.
Right.
As you're kind of taking in this room, there's a person that does start to come down the stairs, dressed in not necessarily a robe, but I mean like a longer kind of coat, almost military-esque, but doesn't have like, you know, like stripes or patches on the side. Kind of like a thicker wool kind of overcoat too. Again, that same kind of navy blue with silver trimming on it, and he has it's a human man. And he has his hair kind of pulled back really tight with like these glasses, a little bit of a mustache here and here, like a little bit of a goatee here. Pretty physical build to him, and he kind of like walks. When he walks down the stairs towards you, it's for lack of a better way to say it, it's very like well placed movements, if that makes sense.
Stately.
Yeah, just hands
very
out in
stately.
front. Yes, very graceful for a gentleman, I guess. And he walks up and he says, "May I ask how can I help you all?"
Push
I
Calypso
will.
forward.
And he looks over and sees Calypso. He goes, "Oh, Lady Calypso," and he kind of like does like a slight bow. Well, welcome home. You're back from your trip. I don't. And he kind of looks around. Where's Lady Persephone at? Did she not accompany you back? I thought that's what you were sent on your way for. And Persephone, you would notice this as Gerald. He's one of the house associates, if you will, kind of like
Steward.
Yeah, he runs the show when the lord and lady of the house aren't around to run it. It's so good to see you. I'm glad you made it back. Safe travels, I assume. Yes. No, not really. In fact, to be quite honest, I really could use a bath and a fresh pair of clothes, please.
I'm gonna insight check everybody we come across in this house, by the way.
Okay. Go ahead and roll insight for...
I mean, were we told to be suspicious of these guys?
Well, Percy's voiced that she thinks that somebody close to the family is behind it.
I'm just gonna give the help action.
How did you spell Gerald's name, just so I know that we have the same way?
Gerald.
Yep.
I'm gonna just give you the help action on your insight stuff by sitting on your shoulders and looking around. I don't know.
Does that
Got a
count?
message. I can be very quiet.
Does that work?
I'm trying to think of how
Mutually
exactly what would assist on
psychoanalyze
an insight check.
You could be walking together and mutually psychoanalyzing everybody.
Yes.
That's really about the only way to make it work, and it's rather obvious.
This is saddening.
Specifically looking for shifty eyes on every person. He had shifty eyes, Persephone, shifty eyes. I'll say, instead of advantage, I'll say, since Tixon openly said he'll help you, I'm not going to say advantage on that because that's kind of weird, unless you could, like, mentally do that and insight.
I mean, I can
together.
cast. I could sleight of hand message all day. It's a cantrip. It just.
If that's what you want to do.
I mean, that'd probably be more helpful because my insight's absolute shite.
Okay.
I'll
I'll tell you what, since it's a little weird, I'm going to be honest, it's a little weird to advantage insight. What if you guys are going to insight someone together? We'll see how it plays out in terms of you rolling individually. How about that?
Okay. Well,
I've got a plus one.
I got a 12 because I rolled another fucking 10.
Let's see, Dice. What do you have for me today?
1.
I got a 13.
I was
13,
wrong.
Okay, 13, 12. Okay, see,
One
there we
higher
go.
than me.
All right. So for Tixon, I mean, you're not really picking up any weird vibes off this guy. I mean, you're still just kind of taking this all in. And Persephone, I mean, you know Gerald. You know his mannerisms and things. Seems nothing off in terms of his formality or him walking up to you or
Doesn't look surprised that Calypso is alive.
no.
Okay.
Surprised, not surprised, but happy to see her. And
Okay.
more surprised that you're not there. Actually, considering that's what he knew that she was sent out to do.
Yep.
Yes, of course, Lady Calypso. Yes, we can draw that right up. And he just snaps, and you see like two Warforged just kind of like come almost out of nowhere from that dark hallway. Yes, please take Lady Calypso up. She needs a good scrub and some nice clean clothes. And what would you, as she starts, what do you want me to, who are these people? And she, as she's walking away, she turns around and says, Gerald, take care of them all. They are all my friends, and they are here under the guise of the House of Blades. So please, whatever they need, take care of them. Yes?
Ilona's gonna give Calypso a hug before she goes.
Alright, yep, okay.
Bye, Calypso, and then she's gonna pat her tummy.
Okay, alright. Okay. And they will take off up the stairs. Right, alright, so, everyone, welcome to the House of Blades. Again, my name is George. How can I be of service? The lady of the house said I'm at your disposal.
What's a bath?
Right.
Swimming.
that. Yes. Swimming. Yes, but with bubbles. To get clean. No clean. No. All right. Is anyone hungry? How about that? Let's start with that. Is anyone hungry at all?
Yes.
Yeah, I could go for some food.
Fantastic. All right. Yes. Follow me, and you will go down that hallway, the dark hallway that you get, and walk past that marble staircase that goes up. And as you guys walk into that dark hallway, you'll see in through the hallway off to the left. It seems like there's some sort of open storage, lots of grains and wheats and things off to that side. Off to the right, it almost seems like there's some sort of like closet room, if you will. As you go past that, there's another set of stairs that actually goes down into the basement area. As you keep walking, it actually opens up into this large grand hallway. Not hallway, room. This is more of like the formal ballroom to the house, if you will. And this is where the De Renards, when you would have guests over, balls and things like that, as much as they are for wining and dining and greeting people, that these are more so for political conversations. There's always someone trying to get something out of these ballroom affairs. So as much as they are for showing off your prestige, there's usually something in the mix in terms of this is why we're really here. More of a formality.
Politics.
Yeah.
Ilona's gonna like tug on Percy's coat and be like, "Is this for dancing?"
Yes.
When you walk into this grand ballroom area, there's actually windows again off to the right and to the left side. Very grand windows, like 10, 12 feet tall, probably about like 4 or 5 feet wide on each side. And there's chandelier candles, 1, 2, 3 sets of those. So it's like 2 sets of windows and like candles like in the front, middle, and on the other end of those. All in gold, the chandeliers. And when you come in, the floor, again, not necessarily carpeted, because that's not a thing, but very grand, or like almost what you consider like oriental rugs on the floor to so you're not walking on just the wooden planks or anything. And on the far side, there's a big, large double set of wooden doors again, very ornately decorated. All of the walls in here are like a light blue and a light kind of silver gray to the outside of the windows to kind of keep that blue silver connotation, but lighter colors. So at nighttime, all the candles really project off the walls and really light up the room with the golds and everything. And on the other end, right before you're about to walk into this double set of doors, there's 2 very large pictures. Very large, probably they're bigger than the windows, but they take up almost a whole wall space next to the doors. On the one side is Lord and Lady De Renard in full portraits, like self-portraits of themselves, full body, the whole charade. Renard has the military outfit, patches on the side, rapier at the side, gun tucked off to the side, kind of standing there holding another gun, and on the other side is the lady of the house, sitting very elegantly, has all the jewels and everything like that. And as you walk past these 2 very large portraits into these double set of wooden doors is where the kitchen is. So the kitchen is on the other side of this ballroom, so everything that's prepared can actually be brought out into the ballroom area. And
Gotcha.
Gerald takes you back into this kitchen area, and you see some more Warforged and humans kind of interacting together in the kitchen area. You guys arrived here kind of like late afternoonish, so they're actually all preparing for the evening meal. But he's all right. Well, as you can see, there's a little bit of hustle bustle in here. But may I ask, what all are you hungry for? We could try to have something whipped up. Lickety split.
Meats or soups?
Chicken and waffles.
Chicken and waffles. All right. That's a good one. I haven't had that in ages. Yeah, absolutely. And
What is
in
that?
fact, and he looks over, Anthony, and what you see, one of the humans turns around. There's a big, fat human guy, no facial hair or anything, but kind of like curly, matted, brown hair with like a chef's hat on, with the dirty apron, but like green underneath, like a green shirt, brown pants. Kind of turns around, what do you want?
Chicken and waffles.
Right. Is there any perhaps we have guests here to the De Renards. Perhaps have you ever chicken and waffles. We haven't had that in ages. He kind of like scratches his like backside a little bit. Yeah, I think we can make that.
You do you handle the food directly?
Yeah. Why? Is there a problem?
Right. No, never mind. Kind of look over at Persephone.
He kind of like, you see Anthony kind of look at one of the Warfords. The Warfords looks at him and it just goes back right. He's like cutting some carrots and things. Yeah, chicken and waffles. Anything else? Is that what everyone wants?
Sure. That sounds good.
Yeah.
All right.
If I remember correctly, the first chicken and waffles were awful, but I didn't care because I just like eating stuff.
Right.
I heard they were
That
amazing.
goat ring, man. It saved you.
All right. Well, yes. Okay. Chicken and waffles. You are more than happy to stay here in the kitchen until they're done, or Lady Calypso didn't really tell me anything else to do with you all. Perhaps some names, introductions. That would be wonderful. Again, my name's Gerald. What is your name? He's gonna point over to you, Nick.
Oh, Voltau.
Voltau. Oh, very cool. What is this contraption you have going on here? I mean, I noticed it right off the bat there. But what is all of this?
It holds power.
The glove stops him from exploding.
Oh,
that too.
Exploding. You're going to see him actually lean in and be actually very curious to hear this explanation.
Oh, okay, the gem on my arm has excess power, and if I didn't have this container on my back, it would explode.
And he takes a step back. All right, good to know. Very good. All right. Volta. Okay. Sorry, I have to say a name a couple times before I really lock it in there. All right. How about yourself, lovely? What is your name? He's pointing to Alona.
My name is Alona Lewin, and I'll go shake his hand.
Oh,
and this
yes.
is Misfit.
Strong grip. Okay. Yes, I wanted to ask about what exactly is a misfit.
Misfit he's a dragon, obviously.
He looked. Wow. Oh yes. Obviously, yes. Quite right. Yes. Of course.
He's a dragon. I made him.
You made him. Oh, that's lovely. You know where you should go. There is a place across on the other side. The Academy loves your tinkerers and things like tinkerers. There we go. I know how to say my own words. Right. Okay. Here we are. Tinkerers over there. Lovely place. Big open area. Lots of place for things to blow up. You, Sir Volta, you might want to actually go there too, just in case.
I think we were actually planning on going to the Academy. I just don't know when. I'm going to look at Bennett.
Oh, yeah, right. I
Frog.
mean, I would certainly recommend it. Lots of up-and-coming inventors over there. Lots of things to play with. And again, better a place for things to blow up if that's what's going to happen with you.
No, we should be okay.
Okay, fantastic. And,
What if I hit it with my boom hammer? Would that make it blow up?
Right.
Doesn't your boom hammer blow up?
Yes, but it would be a bigger explosion theoretically.
Be a
find
bigger
out.
boom.
Just not here.
Right at the Academy.
Perhaps until we wait for Lady Calypso to be ready to again, perhaps you could take your chicken waffles to go. That would be wonderful to get all of your
Why, you're trying to get rid of us?
out of the house. That would probably be best. The Lord and Lady do not necessarily like their things blown up.
Hey, Bennett, I think he's trying to get rid of us.
Oh,
Where are
you
they?
Yes, dear. What is your name?
Bennett.
Bennett. Right. All right. Okay. Very. Again, nice to meet you. Yes. Very good. And what do you look like? Do you have all your stuff? Your face is different.
So I've made things look different. The outfit's a little different. The guns look a little different. But half elf, tan skin, dark hair, bad scar across the face. And Icarus is hiding on the hat, so he's invisible because the hat's invisible with the disguise.
Okay.
So he's just kind of perched.
Okay. Do you have your guns?
Yes, but they look different.
Okay. again, pardon me. Is it Miss Bennett? Is it last?
Just Bennett.
Just Bennett. Okay, all right. Well, again, I see that you actually have some
Academy.
firearms. Yes. Again, Academy might be a great place for all of you to perhaps.
Where's the Lord and Lady?
Of the house? Well, let me think here. Today, well, I think they said there was some business to attend at the House of Coin. But that's really on the thing on the agenda for today, and then dinner. That's really it. It's kind of a not very busy day here.
Can we eat dinner with him?
Percy's gonna give you a look like.
Calypso
Nope.
did say we're supposed to be special guests.
Yeah, again, yes, absolutely. I mean, I don't see why not. If you're guests of Lady Calypso, I don't see why not at all. Again, maybe we shouldn't eat just smaller portions of chicken and waffles, not to spoil your appetite for later.
Well, maybe we could.
I think we have a few things we need to attend to.
Never mind.
Remember at the academy. Remember, we have to go check out the things. We get to play with our new toys.
See if Voltol will explode if I hit him.
Yeah. Wait, what?
That will be quite entertaining. But, Alona, I mean, don't you want to go play with our new mechs? We can see how they work.
I mean, I guess sort of.
We need
Can
to
you
make
put-
sure that Calypso's situation is properly addressed with the house, and then we need to leave.
I mean, do we need to just meet with him tomorrow morning?
Yeah, what's on their agenda tomorrow morning? They're Jerry.
Gerald.
Jerome?
It's Gerald, Frey.
Think of
Jared.
Jeremiah.
Gerald.
Jedediah.
Right, okay. All of those will do just fine. Tomorrow, let's see here. Well, I mean, really, there's nothing else going on for the rest of the week. The reason the Lord and Lady went to the House of Coin is because we have a grand ball coming up at the end of the week, which is exciting.
I'm gonna look at Bennett.
Do I know what the ball is for? Is it something that is like a birthday or something that I know what's
Roll
coming
a
up?
history check.
I mean, Alona's just gonna straight up ask, "Oh, what is it for?"
Oh, fuck. 11.
11?
Yeah.
Nope, not a clue.
Okay. So nothing.
Nothing
Like-
jumping out at you right now. Unless you
Okay.
ask.
I mean, Alona's asking.
You are free to ask.
All right. Basically, there has been some developments in the way of a upcoming marriage for one of the daughters of the house.
Calypso's getting married?
Who's getting married? Can we come?
Calypso's already married. And Percy's just like this in the back, like, fuck.
Just like.
Fuck.
It's just gonna be like.
How's the food coming along?
Yeah, we have to go, right? Can they just put it in a cup?
He said
Why
this
would you
was
put it
supposed
in
to
a
be
cup?
the end of the week, right?
Chicken and waffle?
Yes.
Yeah.
End of the week is in like 3 days.
Okay, is it typical for them to be with House of Coin for a ball? Or does this seem like maybe Andromeda's getting married instead?
You would put together that this is Andromeda.
Okay. Good.
There's
Intriguing.
been some recent developments where apparently Miss Persephone just cannot be found. Miss Calypso was actually sent out to find Lady Persephone, and she was to be wed. But arrangements have been made where the show must go on, I guess, as they say, and Miss Andromeda has now been selected to marry off to the House of Court's son. The marriage reception
Marriage.
is this coming end of the week?
Wow.
Marriage. It's going to be quite the spectacle, really. Pretty
that's
much the
kinda
whole island
fucked
will be present. Anyone who's anyone would be there. Yes,
anyone
yes,
could be there?
ooh, yes,
Piecing-
absolutely, yes. You're right. It's going to be fun.
So
Piecing
we
together that it's Andromeda, Percy's actually going to be a little bit more relieved.
can go.
We are friends of Calypso.
We are. We saved her life.
A couple of times.
Well, perhaps.
Including from an exploding train.
Yes.
So at the sound of that, he's. Wait.
I didn't do it.
What?
I didn't either, for the record.
This is why we need to talk to the Lord and Lady. A lot has happened, so we sort of need to catch them up and.
So, if this Persephone were to come back, plans would change again then.
Miss Bennett, I'm not quite sure all the arrangements. I just work here. But as far as I know, the Lady Andromeda is to be wed to Nadal. Not Nadal.
Woodall.
Yeah, thank you. That's somebody else completely. Name drops. Anyway, is to be wed. As far
That
as
same
I
person
know,
Persephone was supposed to marry?
that was the original plan. Yes.
Well, that's kind of fucked up.
So her sister fell in love with him instead.
No. Arranged.
Right.
There's no
love
love.
involved.
But then that's not really marriage, is it?
Exactly.
Well, no.
That's why it's arranged.
It's like a business partnership or some shit.
Yeah.
So you're having a business merging party.
Yes.
Yeah. And I just give her a look like, you see why I left.
Oh goodness, where to begin? Growing up in a bunker alone with only her father and her mechanical dragon Misfit, Ilona Lewin often felt isolated and alone for the first 24 years of her existence. Forbidden from venturing into the apocalyptic wasteland she was told lay beyond the bunker door, she often dreamed of having her own adventures. After her father left one day and never returned, she had no choice but to leave home and was enthused to discover the world that she thought had been destroyed was so alive. There was so much beauty, so much wonder, so many new friends to meet, and Ilona wasn't going to waste any time. She set off with nothing but her father's coat and her mechanical best friend to find answers to so many of the questions she had. Did bees really have knees? What did the ocean look like? I wonder if there are actually fish larger than dragons, like I've read about. There were so many adventures to be had. So why had her father locked her away and kept her from knowing such a wonderful and magnificent place filled with so many great people? Ilona made friends with anyone she had even half a conversation with, but soon found herself closely bonded with a group of adventurers training to be part of the Glory Hounds, a marvelous guild that she had already accidentally sort of stumbled into, but she is officially a member. Probably. Choosing to stay with these GearHearts, Ilona soon began to learn that this world was not as perfect as she first thought it to be. So many friends in this world would lie and hurt people. There was a darkness to the world that even she couldn't avoid seeing. But never fear, this girl was raised on fairy tales, stories where monsters were always slain, good always triumphs over evil, and the heroes always stand victorious. It's going to take a lot more than evil plots and devious villains to make Ilona, regret ever leaving that bunker.
Styx ain't had the easiest lives, but what he has lived through has made him the goblin he is today. He was born and raised in this tiny village situated in the forest that surrounds the Shadowvale Mountains. Life was peaceful until the night the heroes came to visit and threw his life into darkness. Alone and afraid in a world he didn't understand, he sought shelter in the only place he could find, the ruins he had heard about as a child, buried deep within the Shadowvale Mountain. Just one problem with that: the ruins weren't empty. The years passed filled with pain, fear and solitude until he was rescued by his now closest friend Kylar. This fateful day would change Styx's life forever. He was no longer alone in the world. He had friends, he had a family, he had a cause to fight for. Styx is now a blood hunter and a member of the Claret Order, those who fight against the darkness and the things that would use the darkness as a weapon. His training now complete, he has decided to travel and expand his knowledge of the world and the secrets it hides. Eventually, his travels led him to Lower Azaro and the guild hall of the Glory Hounds. Little did Styx know that this one act of accepting work would have such a big impact on his life. Styx now has some new comrades and new friends to explore the world with, and new ways to look at the world. He has found a talent for magic he didn't know about, and through this magic, his familiar, Acheron. The shadows of his past are once again looming behind Styx, but Styx knows he has friends to help him. He ain't alone anymore, and he ain't afraid anymore. He's still the same goblin he's always been, but one thing he knows for sure. It's true what they say, mate. What don't kill you can scar you for life. But the drink helps.
Well, hello there. Name's Gilash Woodtick. My friends call me Jill. I'm a lizard folk, as you can plainly see. And this here is my introduction. I was born in what most Soskins called the Savage Swamplands. I, however, called it home. Till I was run out for hunting too much. Ugh, bunch of bull. They were just jealous I was better at hunting than them. Where was I? Oh yeah, left swamp. Yeah, I left the swamp. Eventually found myself in the company of some soft-skinned mercs. They needed some muscle. I obliged. Spent a long time with them. Grew fond of them. And then one day, they died. A rival company, the Red Buzzards, thought we were moving in on their turf. So, they killed all of them. Except me. Thought they could make a spectacle of me. So they sent me over to an arena to fight forever till I died. I wasn't happy with this. So, one day, during a really nasty riot, I snuck out and escaped. I got nicked on the way out though, so had to lay low for a few months while that healed. Eventually, when I was getting ready, I heard rumors of a new merc company opening up in Azeros, so I made my way there to hide myself among them, gather some strength and information, so I can kill me some red buzzards. And that's how I met the Glory Hounds.
Freylost Akra has always been a strong-minded sort, even from his early days among the orphans abandoned at the gates of Grimjaw's compound. He was hand-selected to undergo training to become an elite shock trooper under the God, Tyr, to maintain order throughout the known lands. He maintained this reputation during his training, holding a standing record for returning other platoons as lost flags, as well as a record for the most successful captures on training missions and the most, disciplinary paperwork for refusal of orders. He was an excellent shock trooper with a bit of a mind of his own, and may have risen high among those of lofty ideals were it not for that day. That fateful day, wherein he was ordered to take part in the summary execution of a small village of reformed criminals for not more than seeking a better life than the one levied upon them by the prisons they had slowly broken free of. You see, while the rest of his squad saw hardened criminals, Freylost saw people trying to make the most of what they had, far away from any who could come to harm for it. While the rest of his squad fell too, Freylost fell away, off into the wilds until he hit a point where he could run no more, drifting off into sleep. In his dreams, he was made an offer, a chance to understand why the world behaved the way it did, why it could be so brutal, so unforgiving, and more importantly, how he could change it. All he need do was step away from his home and squad, and continue seeking power under the guidance of this new force. He awoke with an unfamiliar mask, an unfamiliar guide, and an all too familiar need to take action.
My name is Tixon. I'm the rogue sorcerer kobold of the party. I escaped my warren and wandered until after a lot of fights, near-death experiences, realizing having small legs is terrible for traveling. I found Azeros, Kind of the Glory Hounds Guild. Where, after I met the party and joined in all of their adventures, I've been through a trip in fucking half. Gained my magic from some weird dragon god thing. Helping the Glory Hounds save the town. Making sure a family feud didn't break out in the middle of the city. Since we left, well, all that's happened is faced the fallen. The Warforged and fighting for him. Well, in the background, all I know is my friend got kidnapped by him too. I'll do anything to make sure they are okay. One day let's kill that dragon that controls my worm. Free my people. I ain't got too much else to say. Just here to help my friends and make sure that I leave the world better than I find it.
Oh, hi. I was told to introduce myself. I'm Voltao, a 15-year-old storm chaser. My friends call me Volt. I got the nickname because I like storms. I know, shocking, right? Did I get that pun right? Is that okay? Is that good? Okay, good. Well, I'm from a small island named Akari in the Sea of Radiance. My home is known for elementals fighting off the coast every 10 years. I was on the beach for one of these fights, watching a giant snake made of clouds fighting a water elemental. After that, I was hooked. It made me want to become a storm chaser. So I headed to the mainland to see if I could find any other storms that aren't on my island. Some people tell me I get excited when I talk about storms, but what can I say? They're so cool. I really hope that I can find other people who like storms. Yeah, like crazy storms, like when the wind blows from a cold to a hot and makes a tornado that can destroy an entire village by just going through it. Wait, we're out of time? I don't know, but it was just getting good.
Persephone Sharonford Vanderoth Kearney de Renard III, fourth child of Viscount Zephyros de Renard, daughter of the House of Blades. At your service. But don't let my good breeding fool you. My family not only rules Theros with the other three houses, but we also control its military. As a child, instead of playing with dolls and learning how to arrange flowers, like my sisters, I studied combat and tactics with my brothers, and I was rather good at it. Then I discovered engineering and constructed my first firearm, Requiem. Life was going well, until I overheard my parents discussing an arranged marriage for me. Having already been thoroughly disillusioned about the bliss that is usually associated with marriage, I did the only thing I could. Claimed I was going for a long visit with Great Aunt Rosalind in Upper Azeros, took the longer route by land, and remained in Lower Azeros instead. I calculated it would be around 2 months before anyone showed up looking for me, by which time I would be long gone, a false name hiding my trail. Unfortunately, I miscalculated. Far too soon I heard that my eldest sister, Calypso, was in town looking for me. My miscalculation, father's choice and agent, and the sudden discovery that a band of thugs have been seeking to kidnap Calypso left me less than ecstatic. I had little choice but to reveal my identity to my new allies, and escort my sister back to the safety of our estate in Imbrick, hopefully drawing out the brigands in the process. So far, things are going about as well as everything else lately.
But they're going to be married.
It's complicated. I don't know too much about it myself, but it sounds complicated.
So she doesn't love.
It's a marriage on paper, not in the heart.
But that's just awful.
It's a waste of everybody's time.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, this is the way of things in the sometimes in the political realm. Again, I'm not really much for getting in between the lines of how this all comes together.
I mean,
you gotta be if it's gonna change.
Are they at least happy together?
I really don't know how much they even know each other, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
Oh my lord.
Well, mayhaps we can go over this more in detail later.
Yeah.
How's that food coming along?
There's not another book, is there?
When they checked out of this conversation, I don't even care. How's that food going?
Yeah, how's the food going?
So probably about this time, you do see Anthony kind of like grunting some orders over to some of the Warforged over there. As this conversation's been progressing, you do actually start to get little wafts of chicken being cooked, and the smell of the waffles are starting to come to a golden brown in their waffle skillets. And with that roll of a 17, he kind of just in a flash and flurry, you see these Warforged ting 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 on this one round table in the back, just throwing out plates, throwing out all these waffles, and then another Warforged comes around just kind of throwing this big lump of like chicken. The chicken is not even like cubed; it's actually shredded. And gravy, this kind of like dark, thick mix. It's not necessarily super brown or like what. It's like that nice little mixture of like brown and light white gravy, and it just smells pretty good. It's
completely different than what I thought it was.
A lot different looking than the what you've had before. So for some of you, it's like that's not chicken and waffles. But it's there for the taking.
I'm just.
Percy's gonna pass.
I'm gonna
I'll
eat
eat hers.
Oh, I'll split it. I'm not hungry. Cool.
Yes, I'll eat my chicken and waffles.
I don't think so.
Tastes pretty good. And for all of you who had the chicken and waffles before, Alona, you notice that there's no weird, chicken veins, no chicken beaks.
No bones.
Crunchy pieces of
No veins.
No surprise feathers.
Yeah, no feathers coming out. Like just old home cooking, man. Old home cooking chicken and waffles.
I think we made these wrong when we made them.
No, I think it's just an alternate recipe.
His best.
I like this recipe better.
Yeah, me too.
And
So,
whoever takes part in the chicken and waffles, you can add 2 temporary hit points to your character.
Oh!
Okay, you can hit me with the explosion now.
Yeah. Are we going to the academy? Is that the plan? Are we coming back here for dinner? What?
Well, I mean,
how long before the Lord and Lady are back?
I think you have a little bit of time. I mean, they only just
How
left
long?
all of. Well, probably a couple hours at least. There's making some more arrangements for the end
Send
of
a
the week.
messenger that Calypso's back.
All right. Well, yes,
Please.
Bennett. Sure, absolutely.
She's a little forceful.
Please. And thank you.
All right. Well, this has been splendid. Please, everyone, he's gonna start trying to maneuver and push, not very politely. Just yes, everyone. The academy. If you don't know where it is, you can go right across the bridge. Look for the big open area to the west end of town. It was a wonder. I would talk to Lady Calypso. He's still doing this. I would talk to Lady Calypso on your behalf.
Standing there staring at him.
Doing his back.
Send a messenger to Lord and Lady De Renard. Let them know Calypso's back. There's business that needs to be taken care of first.
Yes,
Please.
absolutely. I said that I would do this.
And
Just I
thank
need-
you.
Before we leave, we need to settle this. The sooner you want us out, the sooner you get this handled.
Oh, we're waiting.
So I started copying what he was doing.
What this?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's a greeting.
Yeah, Crab and Nick both were like.
All right. Well, okay then. Just follow me. I will make that message. Just everyone, and he was going to start walking back up to the front of the building.
I follow.
And
That's easy.
he is going to walk past the 2 doors and the door down to the basement, walk all the way back up to that front entryway, turn off to the left, and go into the room where the piano and the desk area was, and sit down and start writing.
I'm just leaning in the doorway.
What's Lincoln doing in all this?
He's eating chicken waffles. He's still sitting in the kitchen, and you kind of hear him oh, okay. I'm here. Okay, we're good. eating everyone's leftovers that they left on their plate. Just whoever left.
There was no. I didn't leave any leftovers.
Fighting Geoloff, come on, man. Licking the plates and stuff.
Sounds more accurate, yeah.
All right. Are you to be taking this letter, or do you want me to deliver it? Or?
Send a courier. We will wait for Calypso to come down and the Lord Lady to show up.
All right. And he's gonna keep doing. He's gonna keep writing. You just hear this. Another Warforged comes into the room. He kind of like folds his paper, puts a stamp on it with wax, the cool wax steel, and says, "Deliver this, Lord and Lady Derenard. They're at the House of Coin. Post haste, please."
Hey, messenger guy. What's your name?
He looks back at Gerald.
Is he a Warforged?
Just starts walking again. Just starts walking.
Your name's Bob. See if I can have him short circuit like the others.
All right. He opens the door and hears Bob. And just closes the door behind him. What? Why? What? How did you do that?
We've just been named him.
I got away with these guys. They
I've never heard the wolf
I give them
speak
names and they understand.
Can I snap to see if any Warforged come into the room?
As of right now, no. Nope, just you guys.
I want to snap. Let's see if anything.
He wants to see if he can summon them.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Yeah, you can snap. Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
I almost want to try it, but I'm afraid to.
Pretty good.
18?
18, okay. So when you go to snap, and you just snap out in the middle of the room?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then stare at the door.
Okay. He goes,
Done it twice
what-
already.
Are you trying to... Do you need something?
No, I just thought they only responded to snaps.
Well, no. I mean, you have to have the control... If you need something, I can summon one. And as he goes to snap, you see on his wrist, there's actually a kind of like a bracelet that kind of like coalesces up around into here. And when he snaps, you actually see a slight arcane spark, ever so slightly, just a little like that. And a Warforged comes in.
Oh, that's cool.
What did you need something, Mr.
No,
Manta?
I just liked the idea of snapping and Warforges appeared.
Your name's Jill.
Jill.
No, Jill.
Jill. How are you doing that? I don't understand. How is that happening? Why? I've never heard any of these Warforged speak ever. How
Well, have you ever spoken to them?
Oh shit!
Well, no,
This is where it gets deep.
Well, that would probably be why. They're actually quite friendly if you have a conversation with them. Well, they're not so great at conversation, but I imagine if you keep at it,
They're real good at remembering their names.
they will remember their names. And now, look, if you want to get Jill's attention, instead of snapping, you can say, "Jill, come here, please," and then she will...
Did you just short circuit my Warforged?
No, I gave them a name.
It's not a short circuit. I mean, nothing's wrong with it.
So are we staying here, I ask?
Only for a moment.
I sit
He goes,
down.
all right, well, I mean, you don't need anything at all? That was just, you just wanted to,
No,
okay.
I just said yeah.
And he snaps, and he just stands there.
Oh, hey, Jill, you're good to go if you want.
And he goes,
Oh god, that's how they gain their freedom.
Jill!
Jill, you can go back to what you were doing. You're no longer needed here.
And he just kind of like walks back down the hallway.
It works.
All right, that's...
See, you just talk to them like they're people instead of...
Yep, right. All right.
Household
Snapping.
appliances, yeah.
I think he's about to hand you a bill.
Just
right?
looking at him. What are you doing?
Nothing. Nothing at all. All right. So, you are all off to the academy. Is that what you wanted me to tell Lady Calypso?
No, we're waiting for the Lord and Lady to come back to finish our business. Then we will get out of your hair.
I want to see if Volt will explode.
What if they don't come back immediately and we're just sitting here for hours?
Oh, they're gonna come back. They're gonna want to know the results.
Hours.
Gas or something?
Would it have been faster if we just went to them?
I could go name all the Warforged here. That'd
no.
keep us busy for a while.
No, please don't do that. I already have to send that one back to get recommissioned. I'm just not trying to,
Or you could just call them Jill.
That works well enough.
Or her.
Or her. You could just call them Jill.
I'm gonna... Jill!
Look, this
The
is
Warforged comes in.
this is actually better this way. Because now, if you want this one specifically, you can ask for them instead of snapping your fingers and getting the closest one.
Have you not any knowledge of what Warforged are capable of and why they've been reprogrammed over the course of the...
No, I'm very aware of what Warforged are capable of, but I also think that if you treat them with human decency,
Yeah, but
then...
they're not human. That doesn't make any sense.
Well...
I mean, neither's Ilona, but you don't treat her like dirt.
Hold on, wait a second. You never asked the other people in our group's names.
Yeah, you didn't.
We were ignored, weren't we?
That's
That's
Very
sort of my
lost.
fault. I kind of changed the topic.
Frey Lost and Jill and Six and Tixon.
Yes, right, wonderful. While we're waiting, I don't know exactly how long it's going to be. We could sit here and play a game, I guess. I'm not really great for hosting large groups of people like this. Just
Yes.
Ooh! Do you have any magical items?
I mean, I have
Such
some
as-
goggles.
He has a
I don't
clicker on
know
his
what they
wrist.
do.
what are you asking for?
I'm actually looking for a very specific thing. I'm looking for a statue of something that you can, and it sort of like grows and then it shrinks down. I saw it once kind of passing through and I asked about it, but I was in a hurry so I didn't get to stop and like really dig into it. But I would love to sort of take a look at if you have.
No, nothing like that. Have you been to
You
Idgar's?
say the academy. Okay.
No. There's a magical shop on the mainland.
The dancing plate.
Well, that's more of a magic novelty doodaddy shop. The actual more of a higher standard of magical items.
The dancing plate has wonderful things. That's where we got this, and I'll do my pigeon summoning watch, and I'll summon some pigeons.
Oh fuck!
Summon
All right,
pigeons.
go ahead and roll your. What is it? It's a D20, right?
Yeah, it's a D20. That's a 5. 5 pigeons appear.
Oh no! Why?
pigeons?
Just 5 pigeons. Just all open in this area with the 2 of the pigeons. All these 5 pigeons will start flying around them. No! Why? Let them out! Let them out!
And Misfit will chase them and catch them.
So as
With
Misfit
Jill,
tries
I'm
to
guessing.
fly after some of them fly over like poop on the piano.
Great fun.
Good
Persephone,
shit.
You can go ahead and do that.
Oh.
I'd say right now is probably a
Yes.
break time. That makes a lot of sense. So as Ilona says, "This is where I got this," and these 5 pigeons start flying around the room. Misfit just sees them instantly, wow, and starts to take off. And Lincoln's kind of like, "Oh no, not the wand again!" And starts to try to get out some of the pigeons. And I'd say over the course of the next 5-10 minutes, with some Warforged help come over, they'll open the door. You kind of shush all the pigeons out. Could you please not do that in here again, Miss Ilona? That would be... The place I was trying to tell you about is called Idgav's Emporium.
What is it? Idgavs?
Idgav's.
Can you type that in chat?
I think it's ID. Gabs.
While this is happening, I think I got bored and just walked off down a hallway.
Oh God! Oh.
I think I spelled Emporium right.
I'm gonna clean up after the pigeons.
All right. So you're sneaking away to go down the hallway.
I mean, I could try to sneak, but we both know I'm not good at that, so I'm just gonna walk off.
Okay.
I mean, what's he gonna do about it? He's gotta get through the rest of us to do anything about Jill.
Go ahead and roll. Are you trying to sneak away or you're just walking away?
I just walk away. I don't think there's a point to sneaking.
Roll a perception check.
Oh, that's a 12 plus 4. That is a plus 4, right?
All right.
Yes, it is a plus 4.
All right. Tixon and Styx, what are you guys doing? As these pigeons are flying all around and trying to corral them and get them out of their house.
Have one to challenge this guy to a game of chess. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that.
Sticks to donuts.
In the middle of the room.
In the middle of the
Left
hallway.
my bike outside. I'm going to find the biggest, comfiest chair and make myself comfortable.
Okay. Easy enough to find.
I want to talk to Styx, actually.
Okay. Ooh, good. Okay. And Persephone, can you roll what you're trying to do? Just so I... Yep, that.
Hey, it's above a 10.
Hey, look at that.
11. No.
What'd you get?
17.
17? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. So we'll say that you're doing that. We'll come to that in a second.
Mm-hmm.
Jill, as these pigeons are kind of flying all around, you walk down the hall. Do you want to go down the hallway, or do you want to go to the other side of the area where there's all these plates and things on the wall?
I'll go downstairs. This seems fun.
Okay. So you want to go down the hall and then down the stairs to the basement?
I'll be right back. That sounds fun.
Fantastic. We'll come to that in a second. Frey and Volt, what are you guys doing? Frey's leaving.
Frey just walked away.
I'm still here. I can hear you. I dropped all my dice earlier, and I'm trying to figure out where the fuck one of them went.
I'm going to be cleaning up and fixing anything the pigeons broke.
Okay.
I'll just be observing the pandemonium.
Yeah, Gerald will help you with that.
I'll just be observing the pandemonium. Pandemonium. Words are hard.
No pigeons here.
All
Would it be pigeon-modium?
It's with your
that was pretty
dice.
good. That wasn't so bad.
No, it was terrible. What are you talking about?
You made an attempt, and that's what matters in the end. I just feel like you could have tried harder, is all,
I know. It was a lot of foul play.
Fuck it up too much.
Nick, wait, you're... Or this way. I don't know. This way, sure.
One of those ways.
That was pretty good. Alright, so, Percy's going to do something. Jill's going to do something. We'll say Frey and Volt are helping. And once everything kind of settles down, Gerald and Dixon will sit down to a game of chess while we're waiting.
He was just pigeon the idea to him to play some chess, you know?
I think we could offer that idea.
Like a pun counter or a pun limit.
Hey, no dice so far on finding that fallen die either.
3 is good. 4 is getting... No. So, Styx, as the pigeons are taken out, Tixon and Gerald sit down to a game of chess, and you find there's a very large comfy chair, actually, especially for your size, in the corner, kind of catty corner to the piano. You sit down. There's even like a little what is that called? Armoire, right? For your not an armoire, for your feet. Ottoman.
Yeah, ottoman.
There we go. Just kind of sit back, relax, and do your thing. And as you're sitting there about to crack open your bubbly of Applejack and just kind of settle in for maybe even take a nap, kind of like dad nap kind of thing, Ilona comes over.
Hi. So, I actually thought of something earlier today whenever Jill was eating that awful book. A while ago, I looked at your book. Mm-hmm. And I found out that there was a secret hidden in there somewhere, but I couldn't figure out what it was, because I think it was for only you. Did you ever find out what that was?
Yes.
Oh, what was it?
The previous owner.
What? Like the he was living in the book?
You could call it living. Still there.
I mean, what did he say? What's his name? What's he like?
Notes.
How did he get there?
That's a good story. Once I find my notes. So long ago.
I remember he was a gnome.
He was a gnome called Idiom.
Idiom.
Oh, where? No.
More like cinnamon. Sorry. Word joke. I was trying.
You made an attempt.
Because it's the idiom, that's like a word thing, and then synonyms also a word thing.
Yeah, he's a small gnome. He was doing research for some demons.
Wanted to know more.
Demons?
Yeah.
Why was he doing research for demons? Like for demons or on demons? Because there's a difference.
Not to him. He was working for demons doing research that they were letting him do.
How did someone working about demons end up in... Where did you get this book?
From the magic shop back in Lower Azeroth. I was scanning the bookshelves and it kind of glowed, so I picked it up because you always pick up glowy things. It's a good life lesson.
And he was researching demons. Did he say what demon he was looking for or working for?
He was working for Vasgaroth.
Vasgaroth?
Yeah. Wait, let me try this. And I'll pull my book out and try and bring forth idiom.
Ah! Wow! Oh, gosh! I think it...
Stop your complaining.
You see, like, the book, like, wiggle? Like, it's kind of, like, trying to stretch? Ah! Ooh! Gosh, boss, I think you'd never get me out of there!
Do I hear the voice, too?
No. Nope.
Yeah, here he is.
Why is your book wiggling?
Because he's complaining about being stuck in a cult for the last couple of weeks.
Ow! Ow! Why? Tell him to stop doing that! That's not funny! That's not funny!
It really is.
How did he get in there?
I can't remember the details. How did you get stuck in this book, Idiom? I can't remember the details. I got stuck in the book. It's been a while.
Been a while.
Should speak to you more often, but I've been busy.
No. I mean, I'm just happy to be, out and stretching here, boss. Well, I mean, long story short, I used to work for the Warlock Knight of Sagoth, and lo and behold, after he died, I kind of got stuck to the book.
No, so just accidental. Yeah, he was working for some Warlock of Sagoth.
What is the Warlock of Sagoth?
A warlock that has been empowered by Sagoth, who's not a very nice guy.
Do you know about Sagoth?
You'll see him rub some of the scars on his neck. A little bit.
She's asking you personal questions, boss. She's getting a little into you,
Close
I
the
think. Did you close the book? Hey, don't shut me down! I can be a wingman! Or bookman! Did you shut the book? It looked like you shut the book.
Yeah, I did shut the book.
Come on! Guys, come on! Book wiggles a little bit.
He worked for Sagoth and then got trapped in the book, but he was studying Vasgaroth?
Yeah, because Vasgaroth is Sagoth's boss. So the demons are always trying to outdo each other. For, getting more power and higher up the chain.
How do you know all about this?
I've studied. As part of the thing for the order that me and Kyla are a part of.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I don't think I knew that you and Kyla knew each other.
Okay.
I mean, like, before.
No, I've known him for a long time. He trained me.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're part of the Claret Order, as you know, and the whole point of it is to defend against and defeat demons, fiends, vampires, werewolves, undead, ghouls, necromancers, anyone who's really not doing much nice things. There's different groups depending on what you specialize in.
What's the group for specializing in setting yourself on fire?
My group.
What was the name of the order?
The Claret Order.
Claret Order?
Claret. Claret. Yes, shut up. Between
like
you and
clarinets, but without the in.
Okay. How can I be part of this order?
Oh, jeez. Oh, that's scary.
there's some
I want to
training.
hunt things.
There's training you have to take part in, and special magical rites to for your full initiation. But you could look into it. It's not all fun and games. It's scarring, to say the least.
I still would like to give it a go.
Well, we can certainly start your training if you wish.
So, do books talk to you very often? Because I think I would sort of have told everyone about a talking book if I had one.
This is the first one I've had. I got an owl that speaks to me, so a book that speaks to me isn't much different.
Oh, I've seen Aquaron. I didn't know he could talk to you.
And you should have heard the racket those pigeons made when they suddenly appeared.
Oh, you can talk to all birds.
I can understand all birds, yes.
Can you talk to Misfit? I mean, I guess he's not really a bird, but he does fly. So, what are the limitations? Why birds?
And when those pigeons were in the room, you did hear like window, wall, poop, poop. That's all. Just one word stuff. Repeatedly, whatever they were doing.
No, that's because of the new cloak that Kylo left me. Since I put that on, I can understand all birds, and a lot of birds are really just boring and dull.
Why did he give you a cloak so you could talk to birds?
As a parting gift. It's what friends do.
But, I mean, I think it's fantastic, but I'm just sort of confused as to... I mean,
It's called the Falcon Cloak.
Did you always want to talk to birds?
No, but Kyla's sense of humor, he probably just put that enchantment in just to mess with me.
I mean, I like it. I think it's really cool. Just sort of... Never expected a cloak to do that.
DM's losing his shit over here, boys.
It's a nice cloak. It keeps me warm, lets me see quite far, and then there's the added bonus that I'm sure Kyla did on purpose of letting me understand all birds.
So it does other things.
Yeah.
Sounds like quite the burden.
That one wasn't bad.
Oh, that was alright.
No, they're all foul. These puns are foul.
Well, if your book ever tells you anything else exciting,
I'll let you know.
All I have to say is that was a paltry excuse of puns.
Just jealous.
You hear off to the side, and I believe that's checkmate, little kobold. Good game.
I was actually hoping to roll intelligence
Nope,
against him.
you already lost. That was more puns than I can take.
DM's gone mad with power.
Here, we'll do it.
like that.
Just a straight roll 20. Here we go. Straight roll 20. Ready?
Do we add intelligence, or
just we'll roll a D100. Whoever gets
D100.
higher wins.
Alright. Let me grab my...
That's not bad.
Roll it.
That is a 94.
What?
Oh.
What?
Yep.
Best be angling that camera there, bud.
Yeah, let me see those dice. Let me see those dice. Hey, bada boom.
They're over here. There's that's...
Awful quality.
It is because this camera Pulse of the light. God damn it. It's there.
Those don't even have numbers on them. Those are just symbols.
Numbers are symbols, you fool.
I know.
They're you win dice.
Yeah.
So as he goes, I believe that's checkmate. What? Actually, I'm wrong. Never mind. He kind of like pulls the piece. You like let go of the piece. He's like, oh no. Because in chess, as soon as you let go of the piece, man, that's the move. And then a couple more pieces later, and he just kind of tips over his king. All right. Well, that was certainly unexpected.
I've never played chess before.
That makes it even worse. All right, thank you for that. Well, wonderful.
That's fantastic.
Is that messenger coming back yet? That would be splendid.
Yeah, where is Bob anyway?
So, as this is all going on, Gio, where'd Gio go? So, Gio, as you go down these steps, it is a dark basement. Do you have dark vision there, Crocodile?
I used that lantern that's really shitty.
Okay.
I think I have that.
Alright, cool. As
being
you
used.
go down into this basement area, it is more storage. Big barrels of wines, alcohols,
gargoyles.
Any gargoyles?
In a basement?
No, nothing
Yeah,
like that.
they're retired.
Just a lot of storage down here. It does kind of extend like a long hallway down, like underneath. Just kind of picturing in your mind, the long hallway almost coincides with the hallway that you went down into the ballroom and then going into the kitchen. It kind of extends below the length of the house. Not necessarily as wide, but definitely feels kind of sort of as long. Just a lot filled with lots of stuff down here.
Alrighty, I'll go back up and go down another hallway.
Okay. And while you're doing that, Persephone, tell us what you're doing.
I just want to check in on Calypso and make sure she's okay, see how long she's going to take.
Okay. You going to her room?
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
Wherever she would be bathing, yeah.
Cool. Well, as you go up the white marble staircase up to the second floor, it does kind of have like a U shape like this. So as you come up, it kind of U's off where there's rooms, where all the children's rooms are, then there are spaces, right? Very, very similar to Aunt Bernice's rooms, with the U shape upstairs with all the rooms, right? So that when you go up the stairs, you turn left. There's rooms, and the master, the lord and lady's rooms are at the very end, which would be like up over top in retrospect of the sword room. Their room would be up over top of that. Okay, so like the front of the house. All right. So when you go to the bath area, she is actually just getting out and putting her robe on, and kind of turns around, like, Miss Bennett. Are we still calling you that? Is that what we're doing?
Are the Warforged around?
Nope, just you two ladies up here.
As long as nobody is within earshot, I don't see why the charade has to remain.
Nope, it's just me. What can I do for you? Were your friends having a good time downstairs, or did they leave?
No, we're waiting for Mother and Father to come back. Inform them of the situation, and then we will leave.
I didn't think you were really sticking around for that conversation. I thought you would be dropping me off and ship-shaping out.
I want to make sure that Father is aware of everything that has happened. I'm not sure if he got my message from Azeros.
All right. You're going, and she kind of goes like this. You're going to keep this facade up. You think that'll get past Father's intuition? It's very brave.
It's worth a shot. I'm not about to make it easy for him, at least. So apparently, Andromeda's now marrying Rodal. Good for her.
Interesting. How do you feel about that?
Well, it sort of throws a wrench in my theory that they wanted me because they knew that he would be an embarrassment. But Andromeda is not going to be any better than he is.
Savage! Damn!
She's not wrong.
Some catty shit going on here, boys.
Damn! Right, I mean, it's... I mean, you've seen enough in this house. You know that nothing is done here for nothing more than political gains, especially in Father's favor, so...
And you have heard nothing about why this deal is made.
No, this is the first I've heard it. I thought the original plan was still for you to be wed, but...
Yes,
sounds
but
like you're off the
why?
hook.
Why our family and theirs?
That I don't know. I just know that I did what was asked. Apparently, I'm supposed to say what exactly to Father so that I have to now lie on your behalf. Saying that what, I didn't find you when I came home, or what?
You are free to say you found me and I refuse because that is actually the truth.
I don't like this. Just so you know.
Well, I'm not exactly surprised, but what exactly don't you like about it?
Well, Bennett's... whatever.
Mm.
This is no different than when we were children, always having to cover up for you, cover your tracks, cover your misguidance.
Oh, please. I owned up to pretty much everything. And what I didn't own up to, you have no idea about.
And quite frankly, I'd rather just keep it that way. I've said my piece. I've said my piece on it. That's all. I don't think this is the right course of action, but...
What would you have me do? Marry the dimwit? Be
So
miserable
you marry the
my
dodo,
life?
but you still go about your life? I mean...
What part of my life as it is do you think would remain if I married him? I would be having to babysit him, essentially. I wouldn't have any time for my own projects.
You do realize that men will just do as they're told for the most part, especially in women of our stature, yes?
You really think he has the brains to comprehend anything other than go sit over there?
Even the better.
Oh my god!
You know Nadal is a businessman. He's constantly at the sea. He's not one that I have to take care of at all. I mean, truth be told, I kind of lucked out on that end of the bargain, really. And you know that now with his family's seafaring expeditions and branch of our family, nothing but things to gain. And over time, I didn't necessarily like it at all in the beginning either, but I mean, he's handsome and among other things, but you know, I've come to the years to obviously we're growing our family and I'm doing my part. That's all. I just don't understand. You can still be yourself just with this.
No, I can't, because he wouldn't be able to man the House of Courts. It would fall to me. I would not have time for my projects. I'd be babysitting him all the time. No, I could not have a life outside of babysitting. And that'd be almost the same with anybody father and mother set me up with. I don't want to be married. I don't want to man a household. I don't even want a family, really. I want my projects. I want my freedom. And I have served the family just as well with helping the Ingenieur and Professor Ruprecht, more so than, frankly, your marriage.
Sometimes our conversations, dear sister, I feel if I just bang my head against the wall, I might get a bit further in the conversation.
I feel the same way,
Well,
sister.
as long as we have an understanding of each other. I feel like I've said my piece on it. You're old enough now to do as you wish. I might not agree with it, but this trip, as odd as it was at times, I've learned a thing of two in terms of being a bit more accepting of things outside of these walls. And a word of advice, I wouldn't stick around to meet with Father. I think that's just a bad idea.
The plan is for me not to do the talking.
She'll giggle at that one. Okay. Whew. She always has to sit down.
The others have enough information, they can pass it along. I just want to ensure that he has gotten the message that he knows to keep you under close watch, so that nobody tries to take you from here. Because, by the gods, if I have to chase you down again, there will be hell to pay.
You and your friends did a splendid job. I am here. I am safe. Apparently someone wants me alive or dead or worse, but there's no safer place for me to be than here. And I could say the same for you, but you seem to have a group around you that is more than capable, and you seem more than capable as well. So.
Get to 2 sessions later, we're all dead.
Yeah, probably.
Thank you. I'm not sure how long Father and Mother will be. We sent a courier, so probably best to get dressed.
Well, I mean, if Andromeda is to be wed, I'm assuming that there's going to be some sort of, Father doesn't really mess around with these things. It's probably sooner than later, I'd imagine.
Oh, 3 days is the wedding.
Oh, well, there you go. Oh, there you are. All right. Are you and your friends sticking around for that?
That is not my plan. But I can't exactly force everyone to leave. So, we'll see.
Well, you're just playing with fire, my dear, that's all. The more you stick around Father,
Do you not remember some of my experiments? I'm used to playing with fire.
Bless you, child. Yes. All right. Well, I'm going to put on some clean clothes. I just want to sit down to the evening. Are your friends staying around for? I mean, I'm guessing you all shall if you wish.
They seem so inclined. In which case, I will dine elsewhere.
That might be smart. Might be a smart play.
It's one thing a short meeting with Father where I'm not doing the talking, and that's another reason for this, unless he looks.
It's a good disguise.
Yes. But a full meal I am not risking. I'm not that much of a fool. So, I'll see you downstairs soon. Hopefully, Father and Mother will be back by then. And feel free to fill them in with as much of the truth as is safe.
I don't feel comfortable doing this, but all right.
The lying or the keeping me from being forced into something I don't like?
And she'll just just walk up and give you the oddest sister hug, but a little different than the normal. This one has a little feeling behind it in terms of the travel that it took to get here. There's a little bit more of a loving embrace to this one. Sisters aren't always necessarily nicest to each other, but this one actually has that older sibling snug to it.
Okay, I won't be quite so awkward this time, and I'll actually pat her on the back.
Ah, friendship hug. Great, got it.
Yeah.
A buddy hug. Fantastic.
Hey, last time she just stood there stiff.
that's
Like, I
true.
don't know
Yep,
how to deal with this. So.
We're baby steps. Yep, I get it.
Yeah.
Yep, all right. I'll see you downstairs.
And I'll just leave.
All right. Let's go here. Back to Geo.
Yes.
So you come back upstairs.
Yeah.
Where do you want to head from here, sir?
There's the kitchen area. Then are there any other doors?
There's a door when you come up the basement stairs. There's a door to your right, and there's a door across the hall from that. The door to your right immediately has more of a. What you gather is the stuff downstairs has more of a shelf life to it. The stuff upstairs is stuff that needs to be used kind of right away. And then across the way is more of like a really nice closet, if anything else, more for like coats and things, and it's kind of sort of empty really because there's no one really here. Down to your left is the ballroom, and then down past that is the kitchen.
Guess I'll go into the other storage area. Looks fun.
Okay.
Anything fun there?
I mean, it's kind of boring. It's there's bags of wheat and grain and rice. There's some things on the shelves and jars. You can open up some of those.
Yeah, that sounds fun. Let's do that.
There's like eggs in jars. Anything that has a short shelf life is in this room.
Guess I'll just pocket the eggs.
Okay. It's in kind of like a mason jar kind of contraption.
Yeah, I'll just put it in my bag.
Like a pop lock on it.
Stealing food.
Yep.
Hey, there's food. Anything else?
Roll a d4.
All right. Let's see.
Hunting.
2.
The 2?
Yep.
2. You have 2 mason jars of eggs from the pantry.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Mason jars, I like it.
Whoops. All right. Two
This is
egg
just like in a
jars.
video game where you just go in random rooms, just like search, steal, take. I don't know if I need this, but I have it if I do.
Nobody's around that can totally seal this.
Yes.
Yep.
I mean, it's food. No one's gonna care, probably.
Yeah, you're hunting right now.
All right. I look in the closet. Anything in there? I assume not.
Across the hall, there's like 2 coats hanging up.
What are they made of?
They're both very similar to Gerald's coat, which is like the long kind of blue coat with the silver trim to them.
I gave it a taste.
Licking or biting?
Licking first.
Okay. Jesus. I gotta think of something that this tastes like real quick.
Is it cotton or wool?
Yeah, I was gonna say it kind of tastes like cotton candy almost.
Oh,
Without
no.
it like dissolving in your mouth. It's just like if cotton candy could be hard, you just got it's kind of like a sweet taste to it.
All right, I rip off a sleeve and eat that and go.
God.
All right. So just as much as when you would eat cotton candy, it kind of dissolves in your mouth. This is almost like like a harder version of cotton candy in your mouth. Kind of like
So taffy.
taffy cotton candy kind of mix. Yeah.
All right, and I'm back with the rest of the group. I did my exploring. Got me some eggs. Got some cotton candy. Pretty good.
It's a good venture. Good venturing trip. Cotton candy taffy. All right, good to know. All right, fantastic. All right, so Styx and Ilona had their talk. Tixon was playing chess. Persephone went upstairs. Ilona was talking about Tixon. Jill's exploring. Volts and Frey. So this is kind of all happening all at the same time, where like the pigeons have got shoot out and everything, and other people are talking in the corner and playing chess. What do you guys want to do while you're kind of hanging out in this room?
I guess after that's the whole situation with the pigeons is taken care of, Ray'll actually walk over to Volt and be like, I didn't want to actually blow you up, right? And just fucking with the
I kind of got a little curious though, how like halfway through the joke.
Yeah,
So we
no
might
worries,
have to make
man.
a small experiment. but just not one as big.
Yeah, wait. You mean you can make like smaller versions of that shit on your back?
I should be able to.
Okay, alright. So here's a thought, right? I pull out one of the boom hammer capsules. So like, what if we made one of these, but like that? Like you pick it up when
like
I'm
a
putting
storm
down.
one?
Yeah, like that.
Okay. That sounds pretty cool.
I see no way this can go poorly.
No, I don't see anything at all.
So how would that even work though? Like,
So I do have an ability from this pack that if I ever focus enough power, it lets me temporarily fly.
You
so
can
we
fly?
might be able a little bit. So we might be able to give you like a bigger jump before you go down.
So like instead of using it to hit a guy, I used it to like.
Or you could use it to like jump a little bit, then hit down harder.
Yeah, okay, alright, I see what you're saying. Well, that could be interesting. Not really what I had in mind, but here's an idea. So, I invented this thing. It's called VRAR, right? So, you knock a guy over, take a big ass hammer, and you just hit them in the head, and if the head flies out through a hole or like a window or something, it's a point.
Okay.
Got a couple points the other night, but could I use this to maybe like increase the force of the hit? Like maybe send it flying further?
Oh yeah, probably.
Alright, I got some ideas for that.
Like a longest drive competition?
Oh Lord.
Maybe I can send whole people instead of just the head.
Heads
Yeah.
roll.
You could probably hit the body and then later on the head flies off so it goes farther.
I feel like that would take some additional setup though.
We have time. Everyone else kind of disappeared.
Now that I mention it, yeah, I mean I guess they did.
I just wander back in.
They're like across the room.
It's a very big room.
And as you say this, Jill actually walks back in. The door opens up. The Warforged Bob kind of walks back in. Percy's like slowly coming down the stairs, and the
Bob.
sticks are kind of. It's like as soon as you say, "Where'd everybody go?" Oh my gosh, you guys! Everyone's all back in the room. You did it! And Bob comes back in, looks for Gerald, and just walks up and hands him a paper and says, "Bob." And like kind of like slowly backsteps away a little bit.
Hi, Bob.
Bob. He goes, "Alright, that's enough of that."
It's not a hard concept, just like use his name and tell him he's good to go.
Bob, you're excused. Bob, okay. Bob. And he like just like walking down.
Oh God.
I like the picture that they just didn't read the full owner's manual. They only read the beginning part.
Yeah. On, off, switch, go thing. Yeah. It doesn't say like in the back like troubleshooting or anything like that. Yeah. Like, what if this doesn't work? Try this. I should turn them off and turn them back on again.
Might do something. Who knows?
All right. So Gerald's kind of reading over the sheets. All right. Well. Oh, you're all looking at me. Very. Okay. Well. So the Lord and Lady will be back shortly. Due to Calypso's return. I mean, you're all more than welcome to wait here, but there really is no. It just says shortly. Don't really know what that means. You're more than welcome to wait here if you all wish.
They just intermitted us.
Yeah.
I want to go over to Dixon.
In a letter. I'm kind of offended.
I guess I look for a chair to sit down in.
I really want to make that explosive like lightning capsule. Can we do that here? Asking Voltol, just ignoring Gerald.
I don't have any materials. I used the last on Geo's badly shaped lantern that I need to fix.
Damn. Okay.
I did hear that they had stuff at the academy. I've heard the academy like 12 times today.
It has been mentioned a lot. I think just Gerald's trying to get rid of us, really, in easy earshot of Gerald.
Maybe.
Oh, hey Gerald, can you get one of the Warforged in here real quick? I gotta ask him to grab something for me.
All right. Bob. He kind of like shrugs. Is this really gonna work? As he's like, "Is this really gonna work?" In comes Bob.
Hi, Bob.
Yeah, that works. Interesting, isn't it?
Bob. And he just turns around and walks.
I didn't really have anything for it.
Like,
I didn't really have anything for it. I just
got
wanted to see it in
out
action.
by a Warforged, but just with Bob. That's it.
Yeah.
I want to go over to Tixon,
Go ahead.
and just whisper to him, when they get here, would you do all the talking? I'm going to do as little as possible so that Father doesn't recognize me.
I mean, I can try.
You're probably the most charismatic in the group.
Okay. Just tell me what I
I
need to
take
say.
offense.
I am a very friendly person.
I'm lovely.
Friendly is different than charismatic. Just
I'm also a very scary person.
we don't need
Both
to scare
these
them.
are parts of charisma.
And you don't hear this anyway. We just need to make sure they are aware of the plans by the Red Buzzards to take Calypso, and that she needs to remain under watch until we suss out these brigands and deal with them.
I suppose, I guess maybe ask if they have any information on the Red Buzzards?
That might help, yes.
I'll see what I can do, I guess. I'm...
I would be satisfied with just making sure they are fully aware of the situation and then we leave.
Yeah. Maybe once you said this academy thing, they do tinkering things there?
Oh yes, after this we will go there. I would prefer not to have dinner here.
I can agree. I don't feel very welcome in this city whatsoever.
Well,
I like Azeroth.
I assure you, Professor Rupert will love you.
I'll say I want to go over the grenade thing, see if I can't make one. But
Yes, and we can spend days in the academy if we wish, working on things. But for now, I just need to get this over with and move on.
yeah, I'll do my best.
Thank you.
I guess I'm gonna go. Oh yeah, I beat him in chess.
Good.
I've never played chess before, but I won.
Good for you. I'm not generally keen on chess myself. I prefer cards.
I don't think I'm keen on chess either. Then again, I don't know how to play. I just did what he did.
Only better.
Yeah. I kind of
It's
just
actually not
copied
a
most
bad
of his
strategy in
movement.
chess to do that, by the way. Just throwing it out
Yeah,
there.
he's just like, I kind of just copied what he was doing until I realized how things moved, and then he moved and let go of a piece, and
Observation's actually a wonderful way to learn, so good for you.
I suppose that's kind of how most, I think that's how most kobold learn. That's how I learned how to talk. He just kind of looks up. What was the first thing I said?
Trying to remember his first word.
I pat him on the head and move to make sure that when someone arrives, I am
I remember.
the least
I told someone to
obvious.
fuck off. I didn't want the applesauce.
All right.
Or was it mushroom? I don't remember. I try not to.
So about this time, as you guys are having this conversation, you do hear you see these two Warforged just seemingly out of nowhere down the dark hallway coming. So you guys are in this room and coming down this side of the hallway into the room of swords. Go up to the door and open them, and as they open up, you actually see Gerald kind of like, oh shit, just under his breath really quick, and kind of runs out into the other room. And as he walks over there, you see two figures walk in to the main chamber area, and Gerald says, Viscount Zephyros and Countess Daphne, Lord and Lady of the House of Blades. And they like walk in, and no one's like clapping or anything, but it's more of a formal in the hallway, someone claps. And you see these two, not necessarily elderly, but the Viscount has let me get my description out. He has kind of short military-esque style haircut, kind of high and tight almost, with a little bit of length to it. Not even like so far as like a gray. It's like a mix of like gray and white hair. That kind of blends down into
salt and pepper?
Yeah-ish. More salt than pepper, but a little bit of pepper sprinkled in there, but more of a salt to it. And it kind of extends down into his beard. It's all very nicely well kept, right into the mustache, bright, gleaming blue eyes. And he has... let me pull it up here. And it's very full, which is really cool, right? It's like a very it's like not like dwarven beer where it comes down and you can braid it, but just like kind of just like nice like full white bush beard to him there. And when he walks in, very demanding, very innumerous presence to them as he walks into the room, like a cat face to the butt. Military-esque kind of garbs on. So you've seen Gerald with just his regular wool coat and trim. The Viscount has a sash going across the front. Not a cap, but a sash. With very ornate medallions and medals. Off to the side, he has like an ornamental kind of a blade to his side, with a shorter blade next to it. And the crest of the house with the three blades on the upper left shoulder, right? Let's see, what else does he have? And the lady of the house kind of almost matches his garb, but like in the feminine version. So not necessarily so military-esque, but still very high fashion, with the thick navy blues. And reds and golds and silver trims and the fruffles at the edges, and they walk in. Calypso, are you here? And he kind of looks over. Gerald, where is my daughter? She was sent up for a bath, Lord. Do you want me to go get her, or yes, please, by all means. And you just see him like bolt, like try to like run up the stairs. His posture is all gone, and he kind of like has more of like a full sprint. And he kind of looks off to the side, off to the lot of you.
I'm gonna look over to Percy to be like, should I talk now?
Just gonna subtly gesture if you'd like, but we can wait for Calypso.
And as he looks over to the side of all of you, he looks back over at his countess and just gives her a slight kiss on the hand, and she just walks off like she doesn't say anything, and kind of turns over to the side of you two, of your group. And now that he kind of turns over to the side and starts to walk towards you, you can actually see now the sword that he has is very large. At first, it almost kind of looked like just a regular sword because you saw the right side of it, but as he kind of like turns and walks towards you, very ornate kind of scabbard, like with the handle, and the silver and blues are very apparent on this. So the scabbard actually kind of it's like a blue handle, and the scabbard almost makes like a D if you look at it this way, with a very thick top with the symbol of the House of Blades in that overlay. It's very, very ornate, very over the top. As he walks up, who are you all, and what are you doing in my home?
I'll walk up and give a bow.
And as you walk up, his presence is even more over the top to you, being that he's probably about like 6'3", 6'4", and again, very broad-shouldered, very postured as he walks. Walks with a presence. That's a very apparent feature of the Viscount here. And he walks up.
And I'll be like, sir, my name is Tix, and these are my friends. We helped Calypso get here safely. Lady Calypso. As I'm not sure if you're aware, but is he just ignoring me, or is he just staring at me? It's like, oh.
Is he looking at Tixon? I'm gonna pick Tixon up and hold him in front of his face.
Right. Anyone, please? Who is in charge here? Are you all a group, or what are you doing here?
Yes, we are a group. This is Tixon. He was actually sort of explaining what was going on.
Yes.
Right.
Still holding him at eye level.
Yes.
Kind of like
Would you all wait here for a moment? And he's just gonna kind of just turn, and walk away. As he turns, there's like this big, blue cape, with a very nicely detailed. So with Gerald's coat, the silver trim was just a trim. It still looks nice, but with his cape, it's almost like silvered on the trim of the cape. So as he twirls, it has a nice little slash to it, and he kind of walks out back towards following the Countess down the hallway and up the stairs.
This cape looks delicious.
Really mean.
Eat it, please. Please eat his cape.
No.
Is he also... What was it Calypso said? I think she called someone a dick.
Actually,
I actually can't picture my sister saying that, so...
Pretty sure that's the definition.
Just sworn she did.
Father's not wonderful. Tixon, maybe you should sit on somebody's shoulder next time.
Actually... Hold on.
Oh no.
Hold on a second.
I look back up at her.
We'll wait until he comes back, but I definitely think you'll be able to get his attention.
You're going to enlarge him, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh, joy. I'm gonna be a big bold.
Yeah.
How big? How does that change? I need to pull up enlarge reduce.
While you're looking that spell up, you all sit there for 2 minutes.
Any spare chairs?
5 minutes.
Don't eat the furniture.
I'm just gonna yell up the stairs.
Or do. I'm not stopping you. Enjoy.
I'm gonna become 3/6. Neat.
I have a question. So what's the I understand that you guys have information to tell these people that would be family to the person that's not here. Is there a reason we have to do it in person? Because apparently they're too rude to talk back.
Just in case they have any questions, I think.
Well, if it was that important to them about their daughter's safety, wouldn't that be a first thing they asked, no matter who answered the questions?
Yeah, you'd think.
Speculation.
I want to be sure that it's clear and that preparations are made, because I do not want to go rescue her again.
I mean, I guess I'd rather Calypso not be put through something like that again either.
if we sit here more than 5 minutes, I'm gonna yell up the stairs.
Okay.
I can make an odor that makes somebody want to come down to check what it is.
So after a couple minutes pass,
do that.
you hear... When he walked away, you did hear kind of like a clanging, which would be his enlarged sword, kind of like clanging as he walked. You do hear that coming again after a couple minutes. So I'm to understand that you all have aided in my daughter's return, Calypso. Is that correct?
I'm yes. Push Tixon forward and cast Enlarge on him.
Okay.
Alright.
I'm slightly taller. I look at him.
Yep.
You are doubled in size, weight multiplied by 8, and you have advantage on any strength checks and saving throws. Your weapons also grow and deal an extra 1d4 damage.
160.
How much? Ah, yes, you're right. I got a lot heavier. I'm like 3'6". I'm gonna look at him. I was like,
God, you're gonna break his knees.
Does he just look like he's gonna ignore me anyways?
I was told to ask, is there a gentleman in your party named Styx?
Yes, this is Styx.
Still sat on the chair.
I love that that's what Calypso says. Okay.
Are you in that big chair still this entire time? Totally. It's amazing.
Well, he's kind of like looks around the side when he hears that. All right. Please approach.
Bill slowly, grudgingly gets out of the chair.
Realized I could have turned myself into a dwarf.
Arm sticks. Your Viscountiness.
He is going to slowly... Go ahead and make an insight check, Styx.
Guidance.
Of course, she's already getting
It was
ahead.
before the roll. It was before the roll.
Yeah, but what would you be providing guidance for?
I have a spell called guidance. I will use it.
He just wants to use it. He just wants to use it.
I have no roleplay reason for doing that.
I'm just gonna keep my hand on his shoulder the entire time and just
26.
continuously cast guidance.
26, okay.
Finally, good roll.
He's going to extend his hand out to you, but with that insight, you can definitely get a whiff of he is very begrudgingly doing that.
You don't need to stand in ceremony, pal. It's fine. We did a job. We were hired to bring Calypso back here to make sure she was safe, because there's some guys after her.
Right.
Just to let you know.
Well,
I'm sure she'll fill you in on all the
His
details.
hand extended, and he says, I have been asked by my daughter to invite you all to dinner for the evening.
That's mightily gracious of you, Viscountiness, and I'll take his hand at that.
Thank you for bringing my daughter home safely. She has said many things about this group. One of those being that the main reason I sent her out in the first place was to find my other daughter, Persephone, and as I look around, I understand that she is not with this party. Is that correct?
That is correct. She decided to stay back in Azeros. She hired us and asked us to bring your daughter Calypso back here.
Alright, I did receive a letter from her before, and apparently this all rings true. So you've all met my daughter then?
Yes.
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 We've worked quite
How was
closely with
that?
her. Enjoyable.
talking-
She's quite a more understanding individual.
Were any of you shot?
Actually, yeah, I almost a couple of times.
It seems to be her introduction is to threaten you with a gun at first, and then she's quite nice to get along with.
Alright, so you did meet my daughter. Alright, fair enough.
Really good with a boomstick.
Alana's gonna pat Misfit.
So, I understand you all go by the name of GearHearts. It's very catchy. By the order of my...
She does that.
Right. By the order of my daughter Calypso, she has asked for you all to stay for dinner. I believe that is more than compensation for her safe return, so I do appreciate your protection and guidance. Are you all to be rendezvousing with my daughter Persephone at any given moment or time in the future? Like you,
we are going to meet up again once we head back to Azeroth. We've got a few things to do in town first.
Oh, splendid. Could you pass a message on to her from her father, please?
Yes, we can certainly try. Whether she will listen to us is another question.
Wonderful. Would you like me to write this down, or will someone actually remember this?
We have great memories.
I can remember it.
All right.
We shall remember the message. It's fine.
Wonderful. Tell her from her father, thanks for nothing. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot that.
It seems like you could just sort of not send a message at all.
We'll see you all for dinner then, yes? Are you all to be cleansed up a bit? Do any of you need new clothes or anything that we can provide?
Freyla's still standing there shirtless.
Yeah. Just kind of like looking at you, among other people.
Yep.
Sure.
Kind of like at the boar snout part of the cowl. I guess that could use a bit of a wash, yeah.
What time would you like us to gather for the meal?
What's that?
What time would you like us to gather for this evening meal? Because then we shall have a wander around the city, as a few of our group wish to explore this new city. So if we have a time to come back for the meal, we will arrange that.
He's gonna take a step back for a second and look at you for a moment, Styx. You know, you're very well spoken.
Yeah, funny that.
Tixon will smile.
Have you had any sort of formal education, or?
The fuck kind of question is that?
I have been trained by the Claret Order.
Go on.
That's all the information I really need to give. They taught me to read and write. That's pretty much it. So, what time do you want us this evening?
Interesting. Dinner should probably be ready in about another couple hours. Nothing too crazy. We actually have to make some more, apparently, for our invited guests. But I am looking forward to learning a little bit more about all of you.
May want to do like a double or triple portion for the lizard folk. He might eat the furniture if you don't.
Well said. And will you be partaking in this evening's meal as well, sir?
Yeah, probably.
Wonderful. Can you wear a shirt, please?
No.
Alright, well then you will not be partaking in dinner. That's fine. That's quite alright. We do have standards here in Imbric, and especially in the House of Blades, so either...
Apparently they're pretty shit. This is the worst hospitality I've had in my life, and I'm in the military. Sort of.
Alright, sir. Yes. I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
Yeah, was working on it.
And he will
I turn and leave at that.
He will stand off to the side.
Well, if you're going to ask us to leave, can we at least tell you what we need to tell you before we go?
Oh, you all don't have to leave. Just this rude gentleman who doesn't apparently like clothing.
Well,
just shirts.
He's a very nice gentleman. Just because he doesn't...
with a big fucking boar head on and all kinds of random shit, yeah.
Just because he doesn't like wearing shirts doesn't mean that he's lesser than you. Just means he doesn't like wearing shirts.
It's fine, alone. I'm sure we can speak to him during dinner and tell him the details of Calypso's attackers and who's hunting him down, and the fact that he's probably got a spy in his family somewhere, but he's too high and mighty to know all this. But we shall be back in 2 hours, maybe 3 for dinner.
All right, I leave. We're leaving, I assume. So I just start walking.
Yeah, it's already moved off to the side.
All right, I'm gone outside.
I'll tip my hat and leave.
Yeah, I'll follow.
Yeah. Just climb up and sit on Percy's shoulder.
Don't you mean Bennett?
Well, Bennett, but I mean Percy. They're the same person, I'm just not saying who they are out loud.
True. Alright.
The whole time I'm like trying to keep him from looking too closely at me.
Is everyone leaving?
Oh, what a night.
Well, I think Vol's just standing there. That's why I'm asking. Yeah. Just standing there? Alright. Are you going to join your friends or just stand there till dinner time? Or
Yeah, I guess we'll leave.
And you'll see Lincoln kind of grab your hand at this point and be like, yeah, we should just probably go.
I'm going to stick my head back round the door. Alright, Paul, Ilona, Link, come on.
Okay.
And he will just watch you all leave.
Yeah.
As you exit, one of the Warforged closes the door.
Jeremy.
Oh, Jeremy.
Go ahead and roll a dex just to see if you get that in real quick.
No, my dex isn't great.
Spamming guidance. Alright, hold on.
It is just a name.
The sound travels pretty fast.
So you barely hear on the other side of the door after it closes. You just hear, Jeremy?
Perfect.
You just hear like this whole commotion, like what? Just you can't really make out what's happening, but you at least get a little whiff of that as you walk out.
Hold up a hand to high five, Volt.
So what are we doing?
As you guys walk out, Lincoln actually goes, "Gosh, that guy was a dick."
Right?
Ass.
Holy shit!
I do apologize.
That's your dad? Looking right at, looking right at you, just not even
it's not.
worrying about any of that stuff.
That is not my father.
Lincoln, you're thinking of Percy. That's Bennett.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, that's Percy's dad. Wow.
Unfortunately.
It's a prick.
Yeah.
I had to hold myself from doing a bunch of prank spells that entire time.
You should have. That would have been awesome. What were you gonna do?
We'll save it. I can make it look like he soiled himself.
Hey.
Alright, that'd
There's already statues outside.
Save that.
Save it for dinner.
Yeah.
Once we're far enough away from the door,
Is there a statue outside?
There's only like statues, ornaments outside.
there are 2 in the plaza.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think I could do markings with presentation. I might just give them penises.
Do keep in mind those are not the families; they are just the cities.
So there's none in the family grounds.
Well, behind the house.
Any nice plant pots or anything that are smashable with an Eldritch Blast?
All right. Have I not made it clear? We run the military. You will get arrested.
Probably, pretty sure that'll be nicer.
Okay.
So we're meeting back here in like 3 hours?
I'm not.
Those are going to
right.
come back.
Yeah, no, I think I'm with you actually, as a prick.
Do you want to meet somebody a little nicer?
Wait, yeah, I was gonna say, are we going back in there?
Oh no, we should definitely wait like 3 hours and then send a letter saying that we're not going to arrive.
We should send it with a Warforge that has a name too.
Yeah, and won't leave until they say the name.
That could be kind of
Calypso is your mom any... Not Calypso. Percy is your mom any nice... Bennett is your mom any nicer?
Wow, you went through all the names.
The only one she was missing was Andromeda. Well, define nicer, because...
Not like that.
Well, she's not as,
Racist?
loud. She's the typical noble's wife that she runs a household, he handles all the other affairs. But they did both agree to arrange this damn marriage for me, so... Although I do hope that they're getting something more when out of this now that it's Andromeda, not me.
Why'd that be different?
Because she's even more beautiful than me and Calypso. And they could have married her off to just about anyone for all sorts of deals. She's actually older than me. Usually she would be married by now, but I get the feeling they were holding out for a good deal.
Right. So how do you feel about fucking ruining that wedding ceremony?
I could throw some pigeons at them.
First of all, how without risking me getting entrapped?
Lincoln's like, I'm down. That sounds awesome.
I'm thinking unseen servants and
I don't have a
mayhem.
plan yet. I don't know exactly what's going on with it, but we could find a way.
I mean, I could agree with some, for sowing a little bit of chaos.
So, I'm pretty sure the Warforges are going to be like the waiters and staff, correct?
Likely, yes.
Okay, so if all of them have names and stop listening to snaps, there goes their staff.
Oh.
But we have to do it at a very specific time.
All we have to do is just be there and randomly give them names.
We have to do it right before the ceremony and do it quietly so they don't know the names initially.
I may be able to help with that.
I can as well.
I mean,
make
I'll
some of
go-
you invisible.
I can eat stuff.
My only hesitation with this is considering the message my father gave to pass along. I get the feeling there's more to this deal than what I initially suspected.
What does he mean, thanks for nothing?
Oh, Tixon's just gonna cast message to Percy, thanks for nothing. Into Percy's head.
I did hear.
Well, I know, but they said to pass it along, just doing my job.
Probably your father's being put over a barrel.
That's what I'm thinking. You know what? We do have a few days. I didn't want to stick around in town, but let's see if we can sneak around and find out what this deal is between them and the house.
Wait, are we about to be spies? Oh,
Yes.
excited.
Yeah.
A little bit of my
First
specialty,
off,
so.
Let's go visit Professor Rupert. He
Second,
may
and-
know something.
You may have some ways for us to really fuck with him too, yeah. Yeah? Is he a good guy?
He is much better than my father. He's one of the few people in the town that actually like me. And I'm just going to start leading them back to the academy.
Question.
Answer.
So Fox wasn't a Glory Hounds member. Was he kind of shady? Like, would I think he might know things not privy to most ears?
His
From
name
the-
is Fox.
From the stories he told me in the week of knowing him.
I just like that whole setup there. Go ahead and roll a history check.
While we're going to the academy, I'm gonna look for more gargoyles.
Oh, that's good! It's my first good roll of the night!
Nice.
And it's
Probably gonna be the last since it's 1 a.m.
That is 25.
Wow.
All right.
Good roll. Good roll.
I'll even give you a double up. So before I give, okay, Cody, what do you recall about Fox?
Fox is not a shady guy.
Not when you knew him.
Yeah, when I knew him, no, not at all. No, he was very financially savvy, mostly worked in order to save up some money for his family. He wasn't married or anything like that, just had some older parents that didn't come from the nicest environments, so he was saving up to try to help support them. Spent most of his time working out and working on building a lot of like investment portfolios type shit. Like, he researched this shit a lot too. How the fuck he managed to do that in between training at the Temple of Tyr, I don't know, but he did.
Yeah,
He's
no, he's not
basically
shady
a big
like
finance
all.
nerd and works out a lot.
Yeah,
Those
he
are
does not know a guy. That's where you were
characteristics.
going with that. No.
Damn.
very trustworthy, very straightforward, very takes you at your word kind of thing, kind of guy.
Okay. I just don't know how much a professor would know, but I don't know Professor Rupert, so he might know, but...
But it is getting late.
Yep. So, what we'll say is as you all leave the House of Blades, you start to traverse across the other bridge, which again has trolleys going across and the walkways.
Anyone want eggs? I pull out jars of eggs. Anyone want eggs?
I'll have an egg. Sounds wonderful.
Yeah, okay. Where did you get those?
Found them.
Percy, you would instantly recognize where these things came from. Whether or not you say anything, that's up to you. I'm just saying you instantly know where they came from.
Where did you find some eggs?
I wandered around for a bit. Found some jars.
Pantry.
Oh, you took them from his house. Oh, fuck yeah, give me that.
Yeah.
Alright, I share the pickled eggs with everybody.
Tasty.
It's like a small win. It's a small win from what we all just went through in there. Yeah, alright.
Alright, goodbye jars of eggs.
Keep the jars.
Tasty.
I'll keep the jars, I guess. Two jars.
It's a little bit of a walk to get across the bridge and over towards the academy. Once you get off to the other side, it is again these city streets of Imbric are very wide to accommodate for the dinosaurs that are walking through, let alone everything else. Another thing you notice too, as you guys have been walking through, not only is there a very heavy guard presence with those emblems, but they're not only just walking around, there are some also that are on Dino back, if you will. Some of the ones that are on Dino back are what we would all consider more of like the Dionysus dinosaurs, the ones that are like the bigger raptors that you see like Jurassic Parky almost.
I mean Dinotopia, right?
Yeah, they're
Deinonychus.
Deinonychus.
Yep. Elemental P. Yep, those kind of dinosaurs. Yep,
Large
those are the
raptors.
ones.
I meant like that one really weird movie about dinosaurs.
And Percy, you remember these dinosaurs are known for their speed, their killer instinct. You know, they're obviously very well trained to be mounts for guards. Very long, elongated claws on their feet. Very terrorizing mouths and sharp teeth. And they're very expensive. The fact that these creatures have been tamed to be death mounts, basically.
Mm-hmm.
They're sort of like a special unit, almost, of the city guard, if you will. So, as you guys go across the bridge, you turn off to the left. Very wide city streets. Again, and also on the Imbric Island is where a lot of the cobblestone streets are. And as you come back over to this side of the street, not that they're like dirt and like, you know, there was Azeros, the Flynn and the Kirby side, where the Flynn side was very dirty and like mud. It's not like that, but there's definitely a clear-cut separation of wealth between these two on the mainland.
Well, also, there's dinosaurs walking there.
There was that too.
Dino turds.
So if there was cobblestone, it's sand now.
Yeah, just dino turds everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, Warforged got to pick something up. All right. So as you guys approach the academy off to the side, very high stone walls. So as you approach, very high, probably 15-foot high wooden doors. And the wall actually extends off down to the left and seems like a kind of probably about like 150, almost 200 yards down to the left, and then curls around to the side. Persephone has a little bit better of a layout of land because she's been here before. But inside this courtyard area is probably about like 100 yards wide by about 150 yards long, open area for people to do experiments, to people do training. The academy is where a lot of multi-factioned units of the city guard and military and inventors all kind of come to work on inventions and training, and it's a conglomerate of all of those things. It's very cool, the academy. And that's when we'll stop for today. As you approach the doors, we will work our way into the academy next week and meet the professor, who kind of oversees the academy. And great session, guys. There was a lot of fun stuff in there. We got to Imbrick, we got to see some dinosaurs, and we met a dickhead. Cool.
We met a couple of dickheads.
I confused them. It's great.
Yeah.
Also, I had a thought. We're totally naming each of the Warforged after someone important at the wedding ceremony. So every time they're called, the Warforged show up.
Oh my god, that's so good! Name 10 of them Andromeda and then 10 Wodal. So a whole bunch show up.
Oh, and a bunch of them after Gerald, too. So that when they call for him to fix it, they get more Warforged.
Oh. We shall see at the end of the week how this marriage ceremony goes. We have a dinner to attend later this evening with De Renard. So, awesome. Great game, everyone. Let's do some real quick outros, just real quick. Heather, your bags, and Kayla, our artist, and then we'll say our byes.
Okay. Come shop Val Duskwood Designs on Facebook. Get some lovely dice bags.
I'll put the thingy like this. Okay. And then, Kayla, go.
Check out our artist who did all of our fantabulous character art at Galajanita on Twitter. Also follow us on Twitter at Fates_in_Fables. And check us out on Facebook at Fates and Fables. And we'll see you guys next time.
Thanks, everyone, for watching. You guys are awesome. Thank you to my awesome players. We are rocking and rolling, man. We'll see what... oh, my God. We'll see what the Academy holds for us next time we get together. So, thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
And I know how to stop it this time, so that's...
Yeah.